I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see it.
Biggie. This goes out to you. This goes out to you.
All right, we starting with you. Mm-hmm. Are we live or what?
We are rolling.
We're rolling?
We're live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Juice Podcast. Yes, we've taken a sabbatical, and the sabbatical that we're talking about is called hunting season. And we have not been on the podcast, but you know what? We're coming back with a bang with one of the, and I'm going to toot his horn a little bit, whether he likes it or not, but one of the most renowned outdoor television stars, and to be quite honest, pioneered what outdoor television is now and what people do now. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause and a couple claps and a couple likes and subscribes for our guest, Mr. Michael Hunsucker.
Oh, look at that. I was going to tell you to cue him up. But
Yeah.
Gosh, dang. Thank you.
He's got
Thank you.
it.
Everybody, thank you.
Yes, we're glad to have you, Mike.
That's the best intro I've ever had, I think. That was good.
I've been practicing it in the mirror for a while now. Since we confirmed that the date. And look, the podcast has came a long way because now I have a booking agency, and Q is the head of the booking agency. He just reaches out to all of the different people that we want to have come on the podcast, and I don't have to do anything. I just show up, sit down, start recording.
I know he reached out and was like, well, are you free? And I was like, yeah, for Papa Ron.
Oh.
And I was like, he's like, no. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah,
Like, I got the invite before the Papa Ron podcast.
Uh-huh. I was on
It's
the
a
phone.
big deal.
Yeah, I was on
It's
the
a real
phone with
big
Ronnie
deal.
earlier today, and I said, hey, beat you.
I stole him from
Yeah, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, I got Hunsucker coming on the podcast tonight." I was like, "I beat you to him." He's like, "Oh, you dog!" I said, "He was like, you guys are gonna have so much fun." I'm like, we're gonna try.
I'll save some stuff for Ronnie.
Yeah. Well, let us get to
I
the
can make
nitty
fun of
gritty of it.
Ronnie all night.
Yeah. So can we?
All night.
Yeah.
Name a time and place.
He's pretty good at firing back. He's sharp though.
He's clever. He's
yeah,
clever.
Yeah.
For sure.
He'll rip it back. But the crazy thing is, the majority of the time, he's the instigator of the giving the shit.
Yeah.
Ronnie typically
No
is.
doubt.
He likes to talk the shit, which we all do. But I'm excited to get Mike on here. One of the cool things for me with this podcast is I've been a fan of Mike for a long time.
Stop.
No, I know.
I'm blushing.
I know you don't want to do this, but we got to talk about this. This has to be somehow how we intro this because it somewhat is kind of cool. I've followed and watched Mike for a long time on the Outdoor Channel, and definitely, I if I really boil it down to, I probably wouldn't be doing what I do if it wasn't for being somewhat inspired by the things that you guys have done, and how you've changed, in my opinion, have changed the industry. Because that's what I was trying to tell Parker whenever we were getting together and talking about this. I'm like, what you don't understand is, like, at one point hunting television was a certain way. And you guys brought something that was completely different to that. And like, if you look at the landscape of outdoor television now, it looks a lot of like what you guys have. I mean, I remember this whenever we first started IO and I was going to ATA and I had seen you guys a couple times at ATA. I remember I was saying and pitching to the different people that we were meeting, we're a younger version, but what we're trying to do is what Heartland Bowhunter does. Like, that was I was like, do you guys know Heartland Bowhunter? Okay. Everyone did. You know, that's an easy, do you know Heartland Bowhunter? Everybody knew, and they knew what you guys did. So that was my thing. I'm like, well, we're trying to do something similar to like what they got going on. Now it's changed. Now you guys are so much bigger than us. It's Heartland Waterfowl. I go like this. Do you guys know Heartland Waterfowl? And they're like, I'm like, well, you guys know Heartland Bowhunter? And they're like, oh yeah, we know Heartland Bowhunter. I'm like, okay, well, we're the waterfowl version of what they kind of do.
That's funny, man. Like ATA, I'll never forget my first ATA show. Like, just not knowing what to expect, and like, it was awesome. Like, so badass. Everything archery, hunting related, all in one building, and like, we didn't know what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure starting out with you guys, you're just like, yeah, let's go, let's wing it, let's see what happens, and you know, just the unknown of like, this is before like social media where you'd be like, just reach out to a company and or tag them in some stuff and hope you get recognized. Like you have to show up and be like, hey, we got this deal, check it out, and like try to get their attention.
Oh, dude.
And like I'll never forget. So this is several years along. You know, our path. We're probably like season 4, season 5. We've been working with Trophy Ridge, and Trophy Ridge was one of our sponsors. And Jason, that we worked with there, would he was the marketing guy, and he'd be like, man, you know, everybody comes to the booths and like looks for the marketing guy. Like, I'm gonna hit this marketing guy up.
Right.
And so like they hide. You know, they're in meetings, and he's like, and we were meeting one day, and he's like, yeah, he's like, oh, I've only heard 3 times today that somebody's got a new idea, and it's just like Heartland Bowhunter, but a little bit different. And he goes, you know what I told him? I go, I already have Heartland Bowhunter, so I don't need you.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's so brutal.
That was me.
But like I remember being on the other side of the thing, and like, I mean, really, the industry is the outdoor industry is awesome, and like there's so many, you know, great people involved in it, and like it's a passion industry, so it's super competitive, and so like we've over the years for sure have had people like, you know, how do I get involved and what do I need to do, and you know, I feel like we were lucky, and maybe it was just you know, the way paths cross and everything, but like I always tell everybody, like, you have to have something unique and different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And still to this day, people are coming out with something unique and different. I mean, like, you know, rewind time when we were, you know, I was growing up hunting, like watching, there was like Monster Bucks and like Hunter Specialties, and like they were producing some DVDs. That was really it. And then like, I think like Waddell was the first one to like really shift things up with like the Realtree road trips. Like, whoa, this is a completely different concept. Like, it's not just like big bucks and kills and nothing about the surrounding hunt. And I think he kind of shook that up. And then, you know, when we were getting started, it was like, man, like there's still not much like production quality storytelling. We bow hunt primarily, and so like really it was like, you know, we want to focus on the storytelling side of things,
Right.
And so still to this day, like I said, I mean, there's, you know, brands and companies that are coming out with content that's just unique and different, and you got to like just think outside the box and not think within the hunting industry.
You want to know who I think that struck gold? And I know that you've worked with them a little bit, like you've done some stuff with them, is the Seek One guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those guys struck because it's completely unique.
Dude,
that was not seen before.
Yeah, so they reached out to us years ago, and we're like, I mean, this is probably 7 years ago, before they were even started, and like, we want you guys to produce our show. We have this idea, and I think they had been hunting, you know, in the suburbs, and I was like, that's awesome. Like, usually people are like, hey, I got this idea, I'm gonna hunt and make a show. It's like, well, what is it gonna be about? Like, well, hunting and stuff. I'm like, no, like what, like, but what's your edge? And these guys are like, yeah, we're in the suburbs of Atlanta, and I was like, that's a niche, a hook for sure. And they kind of respected our approach on the production side of things, but wanted to also tell that urban side of the story deal. And it was really when the whole digital shift was coming on strong.
For sure.
And so like I told those guys, like I was like, if I was in your shoes, you know, here's your options. You go and, you know, you get some investors, you know, round up a bunch of money, and you know, pay us to produce a TV show for you. You pay the network to air the show. I said, or you just start, you know, cranking stuff out, posting stuff on Facebook and Instagram, and like trying to grow organically.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They ended up doing. And I was like, you know, there's no reason to invest a ton of money. I was like, obviously the TV and linear side of things is big, but is it necessary at like your stage? Like, this is your proof of concept kind of deal.
Right.
And they freaking have just blown it out of the water. I mean, they've been, you know, started out on the digital side of things, I think Facebook and YouTube, and then their YouTube channel's gotten huge.
Oh, dude. And they killed giants.
Yeah, killing giants. Yeah.
Giants.
Yeah.
These dudes, dude, I'm telling you.
Some big boys.
The deer that these guys shoot and like suburb, like we're talking like they're getting permission on like a backyard of somebody that lives in a neighborhood. Like that's their niche, is like,
and it's Georgia, which like if you ask anybody like, where are the big bucks at? Not Georgia.
Right.
Like, Georgia is southern bucks. Like, no. And there are some, you know, Mississippi and Georgia, like certain areas that are like growing big deer, but like most people are going to say Iowa, Kansas, Missouri.
Right.
Like suburbs around here. Sure. Right. Yeah. You can kill some pretty big deer. I mean, we have all kinds of managed hunts, you know, in the Kansas City area that, you know, parks and all that stuff that people are killing big deer. But yeah, that area is pretty unique down there.
Well, and it's not like it's like a flash in the pan. They've been consistent.
Consistent, yeah, for sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I actually got to hunt. Drew and I got to turkey hunt this past spring. We went out to Utah with the guys from Redmond Trophy Rock,
okay, yeah.
and it was kind of like a get together meeting type deal. And they were like, "Well, but we could maybe turkey hunt too." And we're like,
Oh.
"Turkey hunt?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Well, we'll meet in the middle of the day and go out and turkey hunt." And so it was pretty cool because like I'd never been out there to turkey hunt in Utah, and it was like, so I went with Drew, and I was like, he was like, you guys gonna film? What are you gonna do? And I was like, man, yeah, we should film it. But I was like, I'll just film you, you know, and if you kill one, then you can film me or whatever. And so we went and did a hunt up in the mountains, and he ended up killing one. And then Blake, the guy from Redmond Hunt, that was like, yeah, he's like, I got this place like out in the desert and like the river bottoms, like completely different. It was pretty cool. And I killed one out there in the bottoms. It was almost more like with like Nebraska or whatever, like Cottonwood River bottoms. And so got to experience kind of both sides of that thing. But
So that goes on full strut. This
yeah, so
coming year?
so I think they're gonna drop a video on their YouTube channel, and we're gonna do one on ours too. So
Cool.
Right on.
We need to get a little
Oh, yeah.
HWHB collab.
I forgot to say I shot with a shotgun.
Ooh. Not,
yeah.
Not so Heartland bow hunter, huh?
Whatever. Heartland Gun
shot-
Hunter.
Yeah.
Hey,
I ain't
Heartland
mad
Gun
at it.
Hunter's coming up. You know, we
That was literally one of my questions. It's like, what about rifle? You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Heartland rifle hunter, huh?
So I mean, like, yeah, growing up and like we primarily were like all archery hunting, and I obviously waterfowl hunt with a gun, and I've shot plenty of turkeys with a gun. But I love bow hunting. But like on that trip, I was like, I'm not gonna fly out with my bow and all this other stuff. And you know, I was gonna film Drew initially, anyways, and so I was like, whatever. And so yeah, I killed one with his gun. It was pretty awesome.
Hey, turkeys are supposed to be shot with a gun.
Oh God. Okay. Is Dice Dew in here? Dice Dew?
I'm just saying.
Dice
man.
Dew loves to say that because he can't kill one with a bow. But
Oh, all right.
but no, I did take him out one time, and he shot a goose with a bow. He was real proud of it.
Did he?
Yeah,
Dice did.
he was proud.
Wow.
Q shot one last
I did
year.
last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
I love it.
it is kind of fun.
I want to do it with the.
You got to
turkey
have a
now.
lot of numbers though.
For sure. Oh yeah, I haven't even been out this year. Like
Yeah.
there's just has not been the multitude.
So I was gonna ask because, you know, like with some of the dynamic with the Heartland waterfowl stuff, like fun hunts are few and far between. You know, that we're not trying to like actually film. And
I hate that term fun hunt, by the way.
You've been doing a lot of it though.
They're all fucking fun.
Yeah, they're all fun. But
no, I know what you're saying though.
Yeah.
You're not filming, just going.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of think I already know the answer to that. Your fun hunt era is basically being able to do the waterfowl stuff
Yeah, and fishing.
and fishing.
Fun
Yeah,
fishing.
which
But
you're about that game.
dude.
You are so about that game.
I love anything.
Yeah.
Outdoors, but
I have a funny story about fishing with Mike. Okay, so my birthday, and you're gonna know where I'm talking about. I was down at the lake for my birthday, and me and Kai were down there, and I went to Frankie and Louie's, and I had already been partying pretty hard. Okay, had a few drinks. Well, I see Hunsucker
At Frankie and Louie's?
at Frankie and Louie's.
what a coincidence.
Coincidence. And at this time, I didn't know Mike as much as I know him now, and he wanted to buy me drinks. Well, I was like slouched on the table because I had already
Sauced.
been sauced, already sauced, and he buys me 2 Long Islands.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm
Put
like,
him 6 feet under.
I know. I'm like, I have to drink them. You know what I mean? Because Mike bought them, of course. He spent his money, and I'm like, I'm here. Mike Hunsucker's buying me drinks.
I really had to twist his arm.
Right,
Really had to.
right. And but he invited me to go fishing. While we were there, he was like, "Dude, come fishing with me in the morning." I'm like, "All right, so game." Well, then I got to continue drinking and drinking and drinking
That's
and
usually
drinking
the
because it
case,
was my
yeah.
birthday.
I probably left at that point.
And well, he left. I went home, continued to drink, and then started throwing up, and then bailed on him for fishing the next morning.
I was heartbroken.
And he was heartbroken. But we did catch up, and then we got to go fish another day.
Right on.
Was it the next year? Or was it later that same summer?
I think it might have been later that summer. Maybe.
Are you down there a lot?
Used to be, yeah. My parents had a place down there forever growing up, and so I grew up going down there all the time. And the past 5 years, I'd go down a lot in the summertime and just 4 or 5 days and fish and just hang out with the family and stuff. And my dad is old now. He's so old, and he's just tired of taking care of stuff.
Yep. That's what it's about.
I don't blame him, man.
Yeah.
He's got a big house here in town, like a pool and big yard.
Mm-hmm.
He had the lake house, and he's got a restaurant business.
Right.
He's like, I'm out on all this.
Yeah.
He's like, he's building a smaller house in like a maintenance provided area. Sold the lake house, selling his house here.
Yep.
Like he's
done taking.
My
care
brother's
of shit.
taking over the restaurant.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I'll just like do me and travel and
Hell yeah. That's
So-
the life
for
though.
him.
Good for him.
yeah, for sure. He's like, hey, you want to buy the lake house? I was like, no, man, I can't justify. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like I would love to, but like I can't use it enough. You know.
Right.
It was nice for them in the restaurant business. Like that was what was kind of cool. Like growing up, going down there is like my parents were always working hard on the weekends, restaurant business, and we're off like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever.
Mhm.
And so we'd take out and go down there, and it was like super chill and
Yeah,
like,
because nobody's down there.
yeah.
during that time.
And so it was
Yeah.
awesome for skiing and fishing.
That's
and
what I
all
like
that.
going to.
You ever been to
Yeah.
V's?
Oh yeah.
That's
Really?
V's Italiano.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my grandma.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So has that been
I was there a couple months ago.
Nice.
really? So has that been like throughout your entire childhood that your parents owned the
Yeah.
restaurant business?
Yeah, so my mom's mom started it like 60 something years ago. And so I grew up working there. That's like
Really?
that was my first job. Like I was like 8, 10, like painting with my grandma, doing stuff and whatever. And it didn't take me long, like in like middle school, like all your buddies like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, working. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, we're hanging out. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to work weekends and nights. Like,
Yeah, no
I'm
kidding.
out. I'm out on that. My older brother's like, I'm gonna go to hotel restaurant management school for college. I was like, all right. It's like I'm definitely out.
Yeah.
So
That's even more weekends and nights. For
yeah,
sure.
just
Yeah.
nothing about it. But it is awesome. It's a cool business. It's all family run. Like my grandma started it, and pretty much all my mom's side of the family worked there. And
Mhm.
that's how my parents met and everything. So my brother's now taking over it and running it now. So
How old is your brother compared to you?
he's 39, 38, 39.
Older?
Not 40. Oh, wow.
No, I'm saying he's older.
Wow. Just because I got a few grays, you think I might be older than that?
No. I'm saying is
Yeah,
he older?
Yeah, he's older.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking.
But you were unsure about asking.
I was just making sure.
Well,
just making sure.
I mean,
So
I
if
remember-
he's saying 38, 39,
Yeah,
then
that's
you're
what I'm saying.
thinking,
That's what I'm saying. If
yeah.
he said 38, I'm like obviously older.
yeah,
you-
obviously.
Well,
now
yeah.
he's saying obviously.
Well, I'm just taking
when
a
clearly he was
guesstimate.
questioning you.
Yeah,
I remember
well,
watching this podcast and some guy on the couch that was like, "Oh yeah," he's like our age.
Yeah.
And he was
yeah.
like trying to say he was old, but he was way younger.
yeah, my
Oh, Luke.
yeah,
on
Luke was trying
TikTok.
to
Yeah.
was trying to tell me how old I was. I'm like, no, dude, I know, I promise.
Didn't he say he was like, I'm damn near 35?
Yeah, he's like, I'm damn near 30.
Damn near 35.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
30.
like,
You're 30.
no, you're not.
It was not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And then he was trying to tell me that I like skipped school. And I'm like, dude.
You did do that.
I forget how old I
You,
am
if
some
any-
of these days.
Luke, if anybody missed a little bit of schooling, it's you, buddy, not me.
No doubt.
You Green Valley boys.
So did you go to college then?
Yeah.
Where'd you
I
go
went to so Sean and I both went to Lindenwood University in St. Charles.
St. Charles, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So we
Private school.
yep, private school. We both went there for shooting shotgun.
Trap shooting.
Seriously,
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah. They're the only school in the nation, at least they were at the time, that
So you went to
Gave
Sparta
up.
a lot, I'm sure, for nationals and shit like that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we won nationals the only year that I was there.
Dakota, I know my shit,
Okay,
man.
hold on.
You
Back
didn't
up.
know that colleges did that?
No, I know that, but trying to tell me that Mr. Heartland Bowhunter is national shooting shotgun guy?
He can do it all.
That's what I'm confused about.
You got to start
So that's
somewhere.
what that you.
I mean, shotgun's too easy, so I had to like go to a bow.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
No.
Now it's
All right.
all. Now it's all good.
That was a stab. All right.
Now it's all good.
All
No,
right.
but yeah, like
Now I know what the energy is. All right, I'll start taking some stabs too.
So did you grow up in the KC area?
yeah. So Sean, my business partner, and I went to Lee Summit North High School,
Oh, right on.
and just grew up kind of filming.
Mhm.
Like I actually the first major purchase, second major purchase. The first major purchase I ever made was a 2-person bass boat. Working at the restaurant, save all my money. little bass buddy for the Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh, yeah.
Trolling motor,
Oh yeah.
ripping lips. And second biggest purchase I made was like a video camera, 35 millimeter. I don't even know what 8 millimeter. I don't know what it was, but I bought a video camera, and we produced a series for our Dynacom in middle school that was like Jack Bush. It was it would be like the equivalent of Jackass, but like censored for middle school kids. And so like one of my best friends,
Seems like everybody starts with a video camera doing shit like that.
exactly. One of my best friends had like some property in town, and like me and my buddies was like driving, like 14, like driving around this Bronco stick shift, like just ramping it off stuff. And like my buddy would like jump off of a barn with the umbrella, and then it would just go inside, just dumb stuff. And we filmed, he had a half pipe, and like we would just do dumb stuff and film it. And that's kind of where I got like started with like the passion for like filming stuff. And then Sean and I started hunting together a bunch, started filming some hunts, and kind of one thing led to another. We went to Lindenwood I just went my freshman year. He stayed there like a year and a half. Then I came back to Mizzou. Then I trickled back to UMKC. So as we were starting HB and all that and traveling and stuff. And
So you started HB during your college career.
yep.
Right on.
Yep.
I was always curious about that. Sometimes like whenever I look back, like whenever I was younger, like I always want to go like, was there some sort of like stems of this like creativity that I didn't pay attention to, like whenever I was younger, that like now I look back at it and like now it's what I do. 365 is try and be a creative. I'm like, were there signs of that whenever I was younger? And like I look back at that and like I remember like me and my brother were like saving up our money because we wanted to buy a little digital camera because we wanted to make Dude Perfect. I'm sure your boys love it.
Yeah.
We wanted to make basketball shot videos. Like that was our biggest thing, is we wanted to make trick shot videos. And like I would take the videos from us shooting crazy basketball stuff, or take 50 takes of us in the yard throwing a basketball from 50 yards away, and then we get one of them. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's try another one. But sometimes I look back at that and I'm like, oh, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like I was like somewhat, not necessarily like 100% interested in it, but it was like this little flame that I didn't like necessarily give enough attention to, because then I went and I was, for me, I was like, my dad worked in construction, owned a construction company. I was like, that's probably what I should do, if I'm going to do a career. And I kind of like didn't even pay attention to the fact that I had this like interest. And for me, like being dead honest, I thought that like being creative was like somewhat being a nerd.
Yeah, for sure.
Like for the longest time, I'm like so I kind of like shunned it a little bit, but now I'm like, I look back at that and there's a deal on my Facebook that I get every once in a while. I had taken a hat and drilled a hole through a hat and got it to where you could put like the screw that would fit in the bottom of a digital camera. You know what I'm talking about? The whatever 3
the
millimeter.
tripod. The tripod base.
Yeah, like
Effectively
40,
for a tripod. And I got it through the hat, and I was filming me catch fish on a hat with a digital camera on the top.
Before GoPro.
The original
was even a thing.
GoPro.
Yeah,
baby.
the original GoPro. And I, whenever I look back at that, I go like, oh, makes sense. Like I've always had like that little thing, but I kind of like put it in, and then eventually, and especially like I talk about this every once in a while, is whenever I was working at Bass Pro, you guys had a what do they call that at the end of an aisle?
An end cap.
End cap.
Yeah.
You guys had an end cap that had DVDs, and then there was a TV where it had your DVDs at the Independence Bass Pro.
Yeah.
And whenever I was working there, I worked in the credit department. So I was just like basically walking around the entire time. Like I had a clipboard and like if people want, it was like, dude,
He was
I'm
ruining
telling you,
people's lives with debt,
I was definitely ruining people's lives. But also, dude,
so you
I'm
got
telling you,
fired for watching the HV DVDs.
I didn't get fired. I didn't get fired. Dude, literally,
didn't got fired.
I didn't got fired.
Can't talk.
It was the best job for someone that had the same interest as me, like wanting to like. I loved hunting. I loved fishing like that. because anybody else that like worked in an actual department had to stay in that department the entire time. They had to like deal with, if you worked at the bow shop, you had to sit there and work on those and do it.
For sure.
The credit department, all I had to do was walk around the entire store. So I was literally just walking around,
Roaming.
hanging out, walking around. So I remember like the
Perfect job for DT.
Oh yes, it's perfect for me because I can't sit still.
Fucking
No.
sit still ever.
Yeah, no, I can't sit still. So I remember walking around and like, like how people talk about like a paradigm shift, like these like little moments that like, it's like, okay, that kind of shifts the entire like trajectory of the way you're going. I remember sitting at that end cap and just watching because I had nothing else to do. I was killing time. I'm just watching and watching and watching. I'm
I'm
like,
flattered.
yeah. Well, I'm
Nothing
serious.
better to do.
I'm like, I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. That is like literally so cool. Like what they were doing. I'm like, I love hunting, but I've never seen it like this, And then like as that happened, like I was following on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I bought a couple of the DVDs. I watched them at home. And then you guys had a premiere that was like at Bass Pro. Whenever you guys
The
were doing
originals.
that. The original ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I went to a premiere, or no, I was working, and it was whenever you guys did it, like where you did a Friday night one and a Saturday night one. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like, you had like 2 nights, and
Yeah,
like
because
you
we
had
started out doing one night, and then because it was small, that conference area was like 150 people, so we had to sell tickets and like limit it. And then we just like, oh, we got a bunch of demand, so we'll just do 2 nights. And so we did 2 different nights. Yeah.
right
Before we did with HW, it was just the HB.
Right,
one.
right.
Yeah.
So I went to, and this was before HW. I had went to one, or I was working that night, and you guys were doing the deal. And I went down there, and I was talking to Rex, and Rex was telling me, and he was like, well, where are you from? I'm like, Green Valley. He's like, oh, we're from right around here. I'm like, hold up. These guys that are doing outdoor television are from where I'm from? Like, I was so mind blown.
Oh, really? That's
I
funny.
was just like, wait a second. Like, you guys are from here? Like, in my head, I'm like, no, these are TV stars. I didn't think
from
that
New York or something.
Right. Well, I just
Iowa.
L.A.
Right. But I didn't know. I couldn't put it.
Damn good
even
actors.
Even if it was Manhattan, Kansas, it's still not from where
Sure,
I'm.
sure. You weren't expecting it to be in
I
your
wasn't-
backyard.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, well, yeah, well, that's where we're from. And I was like, what? And then we just got to talking. I'm like, well, yeah, well, my parents live over here, and I was telling him where I lived. He was like, yeah, well, we're right down, not that far from you, and this and that. And I said, well, I'm gonna buy a ticket, and I want to come to the show tomorrow. And he's like, all right. And do you remember the white and black premiere hats?
Yes. Oh,
that
yeah.
Had the,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
we'd always
the,
do.
the
Yeah.
trucker hat.
Yeah. We always
But
did an exclusive for the premiere and just gave it away as part of the gift bag.
He went over and got out of the gift bags and gave me one of the hats.
Dude, Rex is like he's our biggest cheerleader, man. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's
I owe
awesome.
it all to him. I've been hooked ever since, and now it's what I do for a living.
There you go.
is-
And now you're sitting here.
Yeah, if Rex wouldn't have gave me that hat, probably wouldn't have showed up at the premiere. Probably wouldn't have,
Probably
kind of
still
crazy.
Still work at Bass Pro.
Yeah, probably still would be.
Yeah, shit.
Selling credit cards.
Rex is awesome, man. He's so obviously and he's like a second dad to me. Sean and I
Mhm.
growing up together, and my parents or my dad, and my family being entrepreneurs, and he being an entrepreneur. Like Sean and I both kind of like, yeah, we want to own our own business someday, and it was actually his machine shop that manufactured the tree arm that we came out with. That was
Right.
our first kind of step into the industry, and so Rex was always like he was our. I tell him, I say he was our first sponsor.
Yeah.
He bought Sean and I a Canon GL2.
Okay.
The original
Yes, the original.
It
The
had the
original
like little white
prosumer.
part.
Yeah.
No, that was the
No, that's a GL1.
GL1.
GL1 was the
Yeah,
one
that was
had
like the
white.
like the 45-degree angle with the
Correct.
Yep, Sky High Outdoors had one of those. I think we had one at some point, but the original was the GL2. It was like a little silver camera, and it was like, man, we made it.
Yeah.
We got this like thing that is better,
Hollywood,
a
baby.
little bit better than that handy cam.
Yeah.
But Rex bought that for us, and so we're forever indebted to Rex for that.
Yeah.
Right on.
But yeah, no, that's funny because Rex will talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And he loves just like sitting back, like just watching and like seeing what happens with
Well, that's the
people.
thing. He
and
was like sitting outside, and of course, I had my clipboard, and I'm walking around, and it was right down.
he's like, I don't want a credit card, but what do you? I see you looking. What do you? Yeah.
Yeah. And
He's smart. He observes people.
yeah. And we got to talking, and it was kind of funny. But Yeah, and then it was crazy. And then I went to a handful of premieres after that. And then when they had the first like HW premiere, and then I was like,
Yep.
even more mind blown. I'm like, this is even way more up my alley,
Yeah.
with the waterfowl stuff. And then now, years down the road, it's crazy how that's changed too. But one of the crazy things that I think that me and Q were talking about, and I know this goes back to tooting your horn, but like if you were to legit, I know, but like if
I've
you
had
were
enough.
if you were legitimately to make a outdoor television Mount Rushmore, you're and Sean's face are definitely on it.
Wow, you're really tooting.
Don't you think? I mean, I know that's
I would never.
I know that's like I know that's like super arrogant for you to think, but like
But
Q, Q, agree
we were
with me.
we were on the phone earlier, and I was like, dude, this tonight's gonna be special because, like, in my opinion, this is the dude that should be on Mount Rushmore. And Dakota's like, exactly.
Yeah,
It's exact. Like, I put you up there.
I mean, you guys
no
would,
doubt.
and I definitely think that probably Waddell's on there.
Yep. Jim Shockey.
Do you think Jim Shockey's on there?
He's the man.
He is the man.
I don't know. Brandlin would be on there.
Okay,
His son, Brandlin.
yeah, but isn't it like Sean or Nate Flynn's sister or something like that married to him or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah,
Small world.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, yeah, Jim's a great dude and obviously pioneer of the industry.
Have
But
you met
from
Jim?
a creative
You've met Jim
standpoint? Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
tons of times.
Yep.
Waddell.
Oh, for sure, Waddell. He's
Mount
salt of
Rushmore.
the earth. Yeah.
You got to throw the juries in there too.
Yep.
They got to be on
No
there.
doubt.
No,
Yeah.
they're awesome. It's I guess you look at it as different perspectives of like, as far as like, pioneers of hunting and like ambassadors of hunting,
Correct. Yeah.
or I feel like what we do and like Sean and I, like we're more like just kind of your average Joe kind of guy, and like we love to produce high quality content and like tell stories and that kind of stuff. But like we're not going on all these crazy hunts and doing all this crazy stuff. And
Yeah, you are.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
a couple.
you are.
I mean, a couple here and there, but I don't know. It's just different. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do you feel like that because you guys are more, and I don't know, maybe I'm gonna call your bluff on that because you guys are like really good at what you do with killing whitetails and also on the video aspect too. So it's not just like, because I would say like definitely
Right.
the gift of what you guys do is definitely how you tell the story, how visually, and also all the, like we were talking about it, like the stories that you guys have told with like Chubbs and the different things. I think Caesar was another one that was like super,
Like the
just,
multi-year stuff.
yeah, dude, that is not seen very often.
Sure. Yeah, that's kind of the pinnacle of what for us, like for me as a hunter, I love just documenting that story because like
And that's what you were talking about earlier, finding your edge,
Yeah.
and separating yourself from other, hunting channels or, shows. That's the interesting part that keeps people like me from the outside looking in, like
Yeah.
more interested because there's a story.
that was the whole original reason behind like not reason, but once we got started was like, we want to show somebody who maybe doesn't hunt or somebody who's like all the time growing up, people are like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like I'd be like a New Year's Eve party, and I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna get up and hunt in the morning. Like, what you're gonna get up at 5 a.m. and go hunt? I'm like, yeah. Like, why? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And so like, just you get enough of those of like, why do you go sit in the middle of the woods? Like that's weird.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
like,
get
so I was
that.
like, wanted to kind of explain it to somebody, and like,
And I want to ask you, I
create
mean,
something.
like, you probably get naysayers like that who are just like, this guy's nuts, like this guy's dedicated for just, crazy shit. But like, do you ever get like the people who are just like super animal lovers and they just come up with like, I'm sure you get it all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time with
Yeah.
like any type of social event you're out, and then people are like, well, what do you do? And you're like, well, I do this. And they're probably like, God, you sinner,
Yeah. So like I shot a brown bear. I don't do crazy hunts. I shot a brown bear in Alaska. The craziest hunt I've ever done. But
Oh, I saw.
something
That
about
was
bears.
fucking nuts.
Bears
Yeah.
freak people out. Like they're just like, oh, it's a nice little teddy bear, and like nobody understands it. And like honestly, for the most part, I will say from like for us, we get very very little backlash and very little like people coming out of the woodwork to just talk crap.
Yeah,
For the most part, I think because the way that that we handle everything and the way that we present the show and that
It's
type
very
of stuff.
tasteful.
But yeah, it's tasteful.
It's very
yeah.
tasteful.
But you post one photo on social media and boom,
Boom.
and it goes viral, and that's part of it, whatever. But like most people don't get it, and like the brown bear situation is like one of those deals where like it's just a bear, and like oh yeah, everybody grows up like, oh, cute cuddly bear. It's like, no, these bears are freaking savage, man.
Yeah.
Like, and they are, I mean, absolute savage. And so like I did the hunt on Kodiak Island, which actually kind of brings it back to Kansas City. My guy that I went on the hunt with was my brother's best friend growing up, Cole Kramer.
Okay.
And Cole and I played football together. I was a couple years younger than them, and so we grew up together. And he moved up there. He had his aunt and uncle lived up there. Moved up there, started guiding, and was like just he knew I was a big hunter, and so we kept in touch. And it's like sending me all these photos. I'm like, dang, that looks awesome! Like, pretty crazy hunt. Like, not a lot of people are going to do that hunt, and just learn more about it. And it's pretty crazy. Like Kodiak Island is kind of known, for the biggest bears in the world. That Kodiak, the peninsula, and then Russia. Like those are the kind of three areas that where you're going to kill the biggest bears in the world. And Kodiak has a crazy management program behind it all. And then
That's
like,
what I was
so
curious,
people are
like what the management, the conservation side of it is.
yeah.
like up there.
And so people are like, oh, you're just going to kill a bear for just so you can hang it on your wall and like, feel macho. And it's like, no, that's not at all what it's
yeah.
about. God dang, I did feel a little bit macho. No, I felt about this big.
I
when
saw the video. Yeah.
yeah, no. But so like they don't allow you to shoot a sow.
For the people who are listening,
which is
which
a
is
female.
a female bear. So you can't shoot a sow that is with cubs. A sow without cubs, they're kind of hard to tell between a sow and a boar. And so your goal as a hunter and as a guide and everybody's is to kill a big mature boar.
Mhm.
And what's crazy, I didn't realize like all this. I'm learning this, talking to Cole over the years and stuff. But like the sows will cycle, and they will, when they have cubs, the cubs will nurse and they won't go back into heat.
Mm-hmm.
And so those boars will find the sows with cubs and will kill the cubs just to force the sow to go back into heat so they can breed her again. And so
Really?
like it's super savage.
Yeah.
And like they will kill other younger boars, territorial.
Mhm.
And so they're killing. So honestly, and it sounds weird, but by killing this, killing an older, mature boar, you're going to be promoting the population,
Right.
in the grand scheme of things. And
Yeah.
so, it's interesting because like Kodiak has one of the highest populations of brown bears in the world. So they study this and they watch all this, and it's all, monitored by, different units in different areas, and they do aerial surveys, and
Mhm.
it's pretty interesting.
Well, isn't there a difference between, now I might sound dumb again, but there's a brown bear, like a grizzly bear, but then there's a Kodiak bear, right? Which is like twice the size, or like it's the biggest bear, right?
So Kodiak is a brown bear, and grizzly bear is a completely different
Okay.
subspecies. So they're
Okay.
grizzlies are smaller and they're way more aggressive.
Yeah. Okay.
Naturally, I think. So like people were like asking, like, oh, like, did you think that bear was going to attack you? And like, if like we weren't going to shoot the bear I shot, like if he would have went like, hey bear, like he probably would have like
Darted.
darted.
Mhm.
Probably most of the time.
You
like,
were going to test that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
You know what? In my head, I'm not allowing that to be a thought that I.
Oh, it
no,
never-
That, no, that,
I doubt that crossed your mind. Yeah.
that bear was gonna eat you.
Yeah.
In my
Well,
head,
we
because
called-
it makes it way more epic in my head if I know that bear was either gonna eat you or you shot it.
and I don't know who was
the bear
saying it. It
was-
was saying shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Like
Yeah,
get
that
it
was
down.
Cole. Yeah. No, it was coming to eat. I mean, we called it in with a dying deer call, like, meow, meow, like a deer distress. And they're coming out of hibernation. They're just savages, just ripping through the country, just eating everything they can.
Mhm.
So yeah, he was coming to eat, but I guess the weird thing when he was like, shoot him. Well, we had talked about with like most animals, you don't want to shoot like head on, right in the chest. A bear, especially because their head's so big, it blocks their vitals.
Mhm.
Well, he'd come across from us and seen something and got curious, and then he put his
Stood
paws
up
up
a
on the
little bit,
mound
yeah.
there, and kind of exposed his chest. And then Cole was like, shoot him. And I was like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah, I got to do it.
I was at full draw already, but I was like, okay. And so then I like look through my peep sight and I'm aiming, and it's just like peep sight, and this brown fur. He's 12 yards.
Mhm.
It's like nothing but fur. I was like, well, I was trying to make sure I was like at least in the middle of his body,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty intense. And I touched it off. I actually missed him a little bit to the right of where I was aiming, but it went right through his heart, and it hit his shoulder blade, and so his arm like flails back, and it ricochets, came out of his hind quarter, like passed
Wouldn't it
fully
shoot blood?
through.
Didn't it shoot blood?
Oh
out?
yeah, and blood was like,
Yes.
yeah, he died like.
Q, you got that?
Yep.
Well,
He
you
ran,
see
like-
on the video, like he takes off and then his arm is just like not working when he's
Yeah,
running down.
he
the
only
hill.
ran like 80 yards.
All right,
and
let's
just, like,
watch this.
he crashed.
Yeah, they showed me this earlier. Now it's like this is wild.
Who's that with the red?
Brian Dryden Jr., baby.
Oh, really?
You never met him, did you?
I haven't met him, but just through social.
He's a good dude. Joel's over my other shoulder, and then Cole's behind me on the other side with the gun. But yeah, right there, he sees us. And they have terrible vision.
Really?
So he just saw something, he was curious.
See something moving? Yeah. He's so close.
Good shot. Good shot. Good shot.
Yeah, the blood just drained.
Get on him with the camera, guys. Get that down.
Cole's bossy. Get on with the camera, guys. Joel will never let him live that down. Yeah, he was dead right there. See him down the hill. Just,
My gosh. That was incredible.
The fact that you just take a couple steps and you're like, yeah, he was standing right here where I shot him.
Closer.
That's how close he
well,
was.
look, I already have another arrow, just in case. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
ready.
That my dad, I told my dad, I was like, yeah, I'm having Mike on the podcast tonight. And my dad was like, are you asking about the bear? Like, I will, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Dakota before. I was like, somebody had to have a pistol or something. And
Yeah,
then
Cole had I don't know guns, like a 375 H&H, something big gun, like an
Yeah.
elephant gun.
I saw two of them in that
Yeah.
in that clip, and I was like,
And Ryan, yeah, the assistant guy was like, he was a couple hundred yards down below us or 100 yards down below us.
oh, so he saw the whole thing go down.
Yeah, he got to watch it like kind of back perspective. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So whenever that happened, did you guys, like whenever we shot the Emperor Goose, like it was such a like, this is only going to happen once, like type
Intense.
thing, and how it happened so textbook. Like we get set up, we have literally, we shot it with R5 with a slow-mo, we shot it with the red real time, we shot it with another R5 real time, we shot
Yeah.
it with, we had 2 GoPro reactions, we had a GoPro 360 in the decoy. Like whenever we shot it, it was like, and they came in perfect, like literally swing down the bank and then came right in front of us like this. Like whenever it happened like that, like after it happened, I was just like sitting there just like, like holy cow, like all the, like it was textbook. Like same
Right.
thing with that. Like, dude, with how the bear like walks in, with how it stands up, with how the shot is, like whenever you guys were like sitting there on that mountain, were you guys like, dude, we did it. Like this episode, this hunt, this whatever, like we crushed it. Like
That was an alley-oop right there,
Yeah,
for sure.
it literally was like home run. Like
Yeah.
it's buck night. Everybody's getting hot dogs. We're drinking beer. Like it was perfect. Like, did you guys have that feeling? Like, because for us, like and
Stress
maybe I
reliever.
worked it up too much in my head because like if I didn't press record, if I wasn't focused or whatever,
For sure, yeah.
like it was like you could not mess that up. Alex didn't get to shoot a second time. Like it's like if we didn't get it on that press of record, it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Probably ever again. Did you guys have like some of that, like some of this, like whenever you got done with that, like, oh my
For sure.
gosh,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is something that we
I-
built up for freaking months. Like, of course, you guys had known that you guys were going to be on that hunt for a handful.
A while, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of pressure behind that.
I sent, I'll never forget sending Sean that inReach text, like through my GPS, like we got him, like, because it was like, it was a 14-day tag. Your tag is good for 14 days. That was day 12
Oh,
of the hunt. It had been a grind, and
were you tracking that specific one?
no, so that's what's weird about brown bear hunting is like they have amazing sense of smell, and so you don't hike for them.
Mhm.
You wait for them to come to you, and literally, I hate even saying it, like, but Cole told me going into it, it's the most boring hunt you're ever going to be on until it's not.
Mhm.
Right.
And like, so, every day we'd camp on the river, hike a quarter mile up this little bluff, and we'd sit on this glassy knob. It's a springtime in Alaska, 17-hour days. And we would sit on that knob for 17 hours and just glass. You can see 4 or 5 miles in all directions.
Mhm.
Not me.
Just
dude.
glass.
I'm out.
Glass. Yeah, so cool thing is they got blacktail, and they drop sheds all over the tundra. And so we'd glass and take turns, and we'd eat bagels and whatever else, Snickers bars. And we'd take turns and go hike around, find sheds.
Yeah, so you get a little Easter egg hunt in the middle.
Sleep a little bit,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, now I'm in. No, I can walk around, look for
dude, it
something.
was so bad. Like we had a pretty large group with us, and like you never know how those hunts are going to be. And one of the unique things about what my buddy Cole does, and he hates the fact that he's known as the bow guy, but he like primarily guides these bow hunts because he knows how to call them in, knows how to hunt them, and he's just got that's kind of his niche. But the tag's good for either weapon, right? So like if you're an outfitter and you're selling these hunts, like you want to sell it to a guy that's going to hunt with a rifle.
I know what I'd be trying to say.
Day 2 of my hunt, I would have killed the bear I killed was big. I would have killed one that was 10. The bear I killed was like 9.5 something. I would have killed a 10.5 or 10.2, 10.3, whatever, giant. Second day of my hunt with a gun, no problem. And so like
I'm just trying to think of a 10-foot fucking bear.
10 foot.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Dude, the picture of you guys, the picture that you guys posted whenever you got done with it, like
Yeah, with
that
him, like,
picture.
behind there,
Oh
yeah.
my god!
how'd you harvest it? I mean, like, how did you like process it? Like, how'd you get the bear out of there? That's my question.
So you don't, which was very interesting and very counterintuitive to what like most of the hunts that we go
about,
on, right?
yeah.
And so like those bears are really known for carrying a disease called trichinosis or what's it called?
Trigonosis,
Or something like that.
something like that. I know.
I'm not a big bear hunter, but
I'm not a big
and
bear
so
hunter.
Yeah.
I've only killed one bear in my life.
Hey,
so,
more than a lot of people I know.
trichinosis, yeah. And so you're not required to take any of the bear out per law.
Really?
Part of it is because of the disease, I think. Part of it is because it's literally going to be impossible without a helicopter, I guess. But so we actually completely skinned them out there. Actually, we did take a whole backstrap out because my buddy Cole had a guy that lives in Kodiak that's a chef and that will prepare it. And I think the big deal with trichinosis is you have to cook the meat like so much to a high temperature that's
Kills all the
just,
bacteria.
it kills the bacteria, but it's literally
Not
just
that great.
It's just tough.
sucks.
Ugh.
But
It's yours though.
Cole's buddy like makes this like stew and like mixes it up to where it's like, you know, you got to cook it to where it dries out, but then it reabsorbs some moisture, and like he's a chef and it like makes it legit. And so we did take a backstrap out, but yeah, that's one of the most interesting part. People are like, why, like you're killing this animal, not taking the meat, and like that's when it goes back to the more of the conservation side of things, really, for the Kodiak, for Kodiak Island, they have killed more bears and they have the highest density in the whole world because they've killed more bears because they've figured out the whole ecosystem and how it works.
So I mean, where is the bear now? Did you take the head and like you mount it somewhere?
I did a
like,
rug. So yeah, a lot of guys do like a full body mount, and I was like torn, and I was like, I'll probably go back like someday.
What does it usually
And,
cost to do that? I mean, that's like
quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't remember what the rug was. I want to say like maybe like $3,500.
that's worth it though.
But a
I'm
full
sure.
body mount is probably like 6, 8, maybe 10. I have no idea. Expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, they're huge, and they
Yeah.
have big foam deals, and
Yeah. You can't
So-
FedEx that back home,
yeah. So we had to put it in a box, and we shipped my bear straight to California, and to the tannery, and they ship it to whatever taxidermist you want. But I'm kind of salty about that a little bit because did you know this, that bear dicks have bones?
Really?
The bear penis has a bone inside of it. I did
And you
not
didn't
know.
keep it.
So does
And
a
so-
raccoon.
And so I did know that. And so Cole said, "Hey, do you
You
want?"
country
He
bastards.
goes, "You want your bear dick?" I was like, "Why would I want my bear dick?" He's like, like you just like keep it. It's a bone. Like you keep it at your house in the bar and just a little drink stir and like it's a conversation piece. I was like, "Oh hell yeah!"
Yeah.
And so we rolled it up with the hide, sent it off to California, the tannery. Never saw it again. I was like, "Damn it!"
Somebody's got your dick.
Yeah, somebody's got my bear dick.
I'll get you a raccoon dick.
I don't think it's gonna be.
You know
the
that they use
same size.
raccoon dicks for moonshine stills?
No.
Yeah, at the end of the moonshine still, when it goes all the way through the still.
Only he would know this.
I know, it's pretty redneck.
That's the Larry Thurn thing he's talking about,
That
right?
is some
Right,
redneck
but
shit.
they take the raccoon's penis, the bone or whatever, and it slopes off like this at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like to a point.
Like yours?
Correct. Correct. No, mine curves like this.
This is more of a Nike swoosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
But what they do is they put that at the end of the still, and then as the moonshine runs off, it runs off of the deal and it pours in. Yeah, raccoon dicks. My dad had an employee one time that was a like black
Not
market moonshiner, and he made a still in the back. My dad had a creek that was running through his house, and he made a still out of a 55-gallon, like the plastic drums.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like we filled that up, put the yeast in it. We were like squeezing oranges, throwing apples in there,
That's
cutting all sorts of stuff.
if this isn't Grain Valley, then
Dude, I swear to God. I swear to God. And we had to do it
This
in
ain't Grain Valley, then it's Odessa.
there we go.
Odessa.
Hey, now we in OG right now.
Mm-hmm.
We used to hate
Oak
Oak
Grove?
Grove whenever we were in high school. We hated Oak Grove.
The rivals.
Yeah, it was rivals. I literally was like, I will never live in Oak Grove. Here we are.
2 Mile War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your guys' rivals for Lee Summit North? Did you guys?
South.
Nobody.
Nobody. Oh, you guys were the King Dogs?
I'm kidding. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee Summit. I think Lee Summit North, Lee Summit was the rivalry.
Which I don't really
Like
know.
Because they didn't have West back then, probably yet. Yeah.
No, I think West was like my senior year.
Did you go to Campbell Middle School?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So nobody from my class went to West. I think the class below us maybe got split.
Right.
So, and then
My
Lee
mom-
Summit West had the big powerhouse. They took our good coach.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I mean my high school D-line coach, Coach Bame. He was their head coach, and they dominated for a while.
Evan Bame used to whoop my ass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Really?
Evan. Yeah, he played for Mizzou for a
Yeah.
while, and
He was
the
a pro.
Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, though.
The Colts played the Chiefs in the playoffs one year, and Evan was playing, and
Is that when we got beat?
Yep.
Probably.
Because
the Colts always beat us in the playoffs.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Colts
they always
did.
beat us in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were the Grim Reaper for us there for a little while.
They have been forever. I remember
And
when I
they
was a
beat us
kid.
this season. They beat us this season.
Yes.
That was
They
a fluke.
suck.
terrible.
That was a fluke.
Oh.
Hey, we got
Gosh.
a game.
Hey, we do have a
Sunday.
game Sunday.
We got a
Come on
game
now.
ahead of us.
Oh man,
Are
What
you
do
a
you
season
think
ticket
about
member?
this?
Or do you just go?
my ankles. No, I just go when I can. Yeah, kind of deal. It's like with deer season and travel and everything. It's just crazy. So,
Yeah.
But you're a big Chiefs fan, though.
oh, I freaking love
Like
it. I go every,
obsessed.
I go
Yeah,
every
yeah.
chance I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
I don't cry like Skylar cries, but
I might
He's
cry
got
on
he's
Sunday.
got the
He
Zumba
is a-
pants.
He is a little.
Skylar's got the Zumba pants. I've always respected that about Skylar. He's got the Zumba pants. Those are OG.
Yeah.
those are literally. I have the fake. This time and
Yeah.
remakes. He's got
No,
the OGs.
he's got the OGs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think.
boy.
Gosh,
Those
I
80s,
think
90s
that-
ones? Yeah.
Yes, I think that his dad even had an extra pair, and they like had them like cut up and sewn into like a baby onesie for the kids.
Oh
like,
my God.
Oh,
it's
I'm
it's
sure.
a
That's
sure.
awesome.
it's a family heirloom. But no, yeah, I love the Chiefs and
Oh yeah.
Okay,
This
so I want to bring
competition,
this up because we've talked about it on the podcast before.
Oh,
and
here we
na-
go.
And now we got
Mhm.
now we got you here, so maybe we can hear a rebuttal. But
oh great,
Let's get
Uh,
it.
at times we've talked on this podcast, if there was a fight between HB and HW, how do you think it would go down? And I want an honest opinion. I really do, because I've really thought into this, and I've gone member by member, and you guys have a good amount of threats. Okay, you yourself being one. If we're really talking about it, if it gets into a rumble, we're all mad at each other, and we're all getting at it. Nate Flynn is a lanky dude. That dude's got some distance on him.
That's why we're giving him Ronnie.
Right,
I'm
right.
just gonna say that both sides are just getting old and soft.
Yeah, they are.
Bunch of freaking dad bods.
I'm glad you said that.
Bunch of total dads.
No, but you guys got some fit guys. Trent's fit. Sean's fit. He like those guys. You got to run that dog around the yard before you put it to
Yeah,
sleep.
that
That's
means
right.
that's
Those
our
dogs-
job.
Those dogs got a little endurance.
We're
That's
the
right.
youngest of H-Dub. Come on now.
You
Yeah.
flattered me in person. You flattered me when you told me that I was the bear on the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Bull.
No, I am a bear. Like literally the nicest guy in the world. But
If you rattle the cage, it's time to go.
oh man, when I get mad, it's not good.
Yeah. Well, I hope to stay on the good side.
Always.
But I do think that we have a couple little brawlers on our team.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, hey, let me tell you
Ooh,
about
Westcote.
Matt. Let me tell you about Matt Westcote, dude.
That boy's a
That dude can clean a little bit of room around.
Yep.
And Joe Palumbo, who's been in the pen.
Palumbo. Palumbo will fight dirty. He stab you in the kidney with a
You're
knife.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's on my
with
team.
the bare penis.
I'm glad Joe. I'm glad Joe's on our team.
Yep.
Ronnie,
Headbutt.
headbutt,
Yeah.
Headbutt. Hold on.
He was a wrestler.
I don't want to like distract from the conversation, but can I tell a story about Ronnie?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do it.
We love Ronnie stories.
Please.
This is a funny story about Ronnie back in the day and Joel. I don't know if you ever heard the story, but Joel and Sean were roommates at the time, and Ronnie was working at Q104. This is before HW and everything, and actually maybe HW was just, I can't remember if HW was just getting going or not, but anyway, Ronnie was Mr. PBR back then.
Oh yeah.
And I can't remember the full story, but Joel and Sean go to PBR, and Joel is just being Joel, and he's just having a good time, and he's just up in the VIP area. And Ronnie's like, "Who the hell are you?" And Joel's like, "Oh," he's like, "I'm just hanging out. What do you mean?" He's like, What are you doing in this VIP area?" He's like, "Get the hell out of here." He's like, "Oh no, I'm with Sean." And like Ronnie's like, "Hey." He's like, "Bouncers." He's like, "Get this guy out of here." And they kicked him out. They kicked Joel out of the deal. And I can't, you have to ask them for the full story, but that was Joel and Ronnie's first interaction.
Yeah.
Boy. Oh boy.
From the stories I heard, that there must have been some wild nights back in the old
Dude.
Ronnie Phillips PBR days.
That was awesome.
So
back in
Ronnie, that is one of the owners of Heartland Waterfowl,
Okay.
and one of the you call it host.
Executive
Host of the show?
producers.
yeah,
Uh,
him and Logan. Are
Yeah.
kind of the
so they're the like
Catalysts.
hosts, like the heads of the show
Mhm.
or whatever. Ronnie, before he did Heartland Waterfowl, he was a radio host for Q104, the country radio
okay. Yeah.
country radio station in Kansas City.
Mhm.
But he was all, of course, because they were doing the country.
He was
music
probably
stuff.
getting into PBR pretty easily.
PBR,
Yeah.
like
they
he
did
was a celebrity
the
guy.
the Hot Country Nights
Yeah,
Oh.
every
yeah.
Thursday, and so like
Yeah.
when we were like first getting going talking, he's like, "Yeah, come on down." Like
Those were a
they
blast.
had the Miller Lite deck reserved, and it was awesome. Like we were all go down there and party, and
oh yeah, you
know,
guys
hang
are
out, and-
celebs.
yeah, it was awesome
For the time.
And at the time, now Ronnie never invites us to PBR.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get invited too. Now, so I
You were still in diapers then, I think.
I know. I probably was. So I kind of want to ask this question, because I know like kind of the dynamic of like whenever we go on trips and stuff, and you know like it's kind of like peeling back the layers of like, and especially I think that I have a decent perspective on this because I once was an outsider. Now I'm somewhat like involved in like not necessarily Heartland bow hunter, but like the Heartland family. Is I just like, I don't know if I was arrogant to it, but I was just like, these guys aren't like human beings. They're just like TV show hosts. You know what I mean? Like I legitimately like in my head.
Gosh dang, we got to do the behind the blind for HB.
Right.
Peel back the deal.
But like my question is like, do you guys ever have hard times wherever it's like stayed up too late because you guys had way too many beers, and then you're going, waking up in the morning because you guys hunt hard, and so do we. And sometimes, sometimes we
do it hungover.
sometimes we like to party hard a little bit, and like that's just the nature of the beast. And it's not something that's not fluent. Like every lodge that I go to, everybody likes to have a good time. We're staying up, and that's the nature of the beast of what we do, because it's like, oh my gosh, we're with our friends again. Let's have a good time. Like that's a lot of what hunting camp is,
For sure.
For a whole. What I want to know is, in my head, I still have the picture of Heartland Waterfowl as you guys being these rural Biden Class A citizens. What I'm asking is, does it get a little wild around in your guys' camp every once in a while?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But like the difference, I think, with waterfowl and with what we do is like usually it's like Brandon and I
didn't even
Or
think
like
about that.
for like me and Brandon and a couple buddies, or like Sean. Like there's not like, it's not like a big group of people,
Right.
And we're not at places where other people are there to where it's like that's their vacation week.
Right. I didn't
And
even think
so-
about that.
Mm.
We've
I mean-
got 8 guys always.
Yeah.
Yes,
Always.
yes, and it varies. The guys filter in and out, and like 2 guys of like not been able to do anything, like travel and do anything. So they're like ready to go. And so no, we have a great time. But yeah, it's different.
I'm sure it's changed also
Seems like
for
there's a
us, like
few-
over the years. Like also, obviously, it's probably slowed down now that you guys are older, have kids, have families, have this.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, bro.
Responsibilities,
I'm
damn
just
it.
saying, you guys are getting old.
Hey, I will party with the best of them.
All right.
Oh, we know.
No, I know this.
We know.
I know this.
Come on.
I'm just
No.
saying. I'm just saying. Does it ever happen during business hours? Whenever you guys are filming
man.
shit,
Oh,
trips
man.
and stuff.
Gosh, man, we've had some, especially after like successful hunt.
Oh,
Ooh-wee.
always.
Yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
whenever Alex shot his emperor, we were like this.
Going to the bar.
Oh, dude.
Let's roll, boys.
After I shot that bear, and this is 12 days on Kodiak Island, middle of nowhere, camping, no shower, just whatever. We went back to Kodiak, and like our flights, we had them pre-booked, for like 16 days out, like whatever. I'm not kidding. For 2 days straight, we ate everything.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
ate. I mean, we didn't eat bad when you're camping. Like they do it right. We airdropped our stuff, so like we threw out like a big Yeti full of frozen foods, and then we ate Mountain House and stuff. So,
Like out of a plane?
Yeah.
So it like throw the Yeti out, drops down.
it has a parachute on it.
For
Hey,
real.
It's a care package, bro. You ever play
Have
Call
you
of
plug?
Duty?
Yeah, have you
Yeah,
Call of
yeah.
Duty?
Gosh damn it.
It's like a Warzone drop.
I
bro.
just didn't know the HB was on that type of shit. I guess they are.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah, we
Yeah,
roughed
so
it,
we-
but we had an airdrop of just gourmet food come down. and
well,
get
so
it.
we hiked. Yeah, so we airdropped camp, and then we hiked up the river like 4 miles, whatever it was, with our stuff that couldn't be airdropped or whatever. But and then we float out down the river, and so it
my
was
God,
like
that's sick.
yeah, so it was like, I mean, it wasn't like you couldn't backpack anyways for that long.
Mhm.
But yeah, so it was awesome. And then speaking of airdrops, we're kind of getting derailed here, but it was a pretty funny story. It gone way into the hunt quite a bit, and we like were running out of like snack stuff, like bars and like just whatever else, like just snack food. We basically were getting low on supplies, and so Cole like sat phones his buddy, and he's like, "Hey, can you like just get a one of those waterproof bag, and just full of snack stuff, bars, whatever, and just peanut butter, bagels, just airdrop it to us." And oh yeah, no problem. He's got to drop some people over here, blah blah blah. And so he's on the radio. He's like, "All right, I'm coming in. Here we go, blah blah." He's like, and Cole's like, "Just stay left of the river." He's like, "Just drop it anywhere in the wide open. We'll get it, whatever." He's like, he's like, "All right, I'm dropping it." And like he's holding out the window. We watch him drop it. No parachute, just drops it. And we're watching this, and it goes down. We're like, "All right, we got a mark on it." And we get back to camp. Cole sends Ryan, the assistant guide, after it, and Ryan's like radios back like an hour later. He's like, "I can't find it. It's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found." And long story short, it dropped, bounced, rolled in the river.
Fuck.
And so like we're not like starving to death, but like we really needed the food, kind of deal. And
I really needed that bagel, man.
it was kind of like just like a shit moment. And so he's like, "All right," he's like, "This is your screw up, man. You got to drop another one." Like he's like, "I don't know when I'll be back, blah blah blah." And so it ended up being 2 days later.
2 days.
2 days later, he
Oh
brings
my
one
gosh.
and drops one, and we get it. And so anyway, after Kill the Bear, we're floating out, and the assistant guide hiked down the river, hiked and looked for it. Anyways, 2 days later, we're floating out, or 4 days later, whatever it was, and floating out and found it. It floated down the river,
Oh my god.
hung up in a branch on the side of the river,
No way.
and
That's
we
crazy.
pulled it out, and it was the bag had was pretty waterlogged, but
Yeah.
some stuff was salvageable.
oh yeah.
Right on.
A little bit of wet peanut butter everywhere,
Yeah, that's all right.
but yeah.
Uh,
I don't know why we got on that tangent, but
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy hunts, who have you had who's like your craziest like celebrity or person you've taken on a hunt with you?
we don't do a whole lot of like celebrity hunts like that. That's like,
Or just somebody in your eyes, you're just like, wow, I can't believe I just went on a hunt with this guy.
yeah,
Maybe it's even time situational to where it was like
Or even, time, like,
you guys were getting started. Like for me, like whenever we went on a hunt together, I'm like, okay, I'm, like that was super cool for me because it was like I looked up to
big
you for
moment.
a long time. Like I had paid attention to what you guys had done for a long time. Was there ever a time where you guys like had started, like maybe if you had went with Jim Shockey at some point, or whatever, where you're like, holy cow, like
Yeah.
we've reached this point to where we're involved with these people that we never even thought that we would be. Was there any of that with HB? Because of course, in my eyes, I see it as what it is now. I see it as the developed part. Was there ever these parts where like, and I have it kind of like in my story where I've got these like little tiny pinnacles of times where I'm like, oh my gosh, we're here. And we're like doing what we're doing now with like these people. Was there ever like some of that for you guys where you're like, holy cow, we're actually doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
We're actually doing what we like. I know
the
that this
time.
was a pipe dream at one point, and then we're legit now. Like
Yeah.
people are like, what? Can you talk on that, on like that kind of perspective of that for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, there's all the time, like there's all these stages throughout the whole evolution of the process, and one of the originals is actually pretty funny. We got started. How we started HB was by manufacturing a tree arm that like basically held a camera.
Mm-hmm.
This is 17, 18 years ago, and
What was your guys' called?
it's called the Sniper Pro,
Sniper
HB
Pro.
Sniper Pro.
Okay.
That's
And,
badass. That's like
and
a
it
perk in
was-
Call of Duty or something.
Yeah, and so it was a badass, like really heavy duty arm, because back in the day, the guys that were filming
They're big cameras.
TV shows, big ass heavy cameras, and
For the quality
So-
you were looking for.
for
Yeah.
sure. And so we got somehow hooked up with Gordon Whittington, who's a writer and was a host of North American Whitetail Television. He's an older guy, but was one of the just kind of legends of the industry starting out. And I can't remember what the deal. I don't remember the whole details, but he was going on the hunt and was going to come by and just pick up the tree arm from Green Valley, Missouri, and comes to Rex and Sean's house to pick up that tree arm. And Sean and I were hunting, and we just got started filming stuff, and it was like the rut, and we were hunting back there behind his house, and had this like really nice, maybe 3-year-old, probably a 2-year-old, like come out, this 8-pointer, and we had a decoy out, and he just like sees the decoy, postures up, it's like coming in, and I'm filming, I'm just like, and I'm filming him, and like as he gets closer, I like pan out, and you see Sean in the tree in front of me. You see Sean come to full draw, I zoom in. Sean smokes him, double lungs. He runs like 30 yards, topples over, and we're just like, yes! Like that was like the most amazing moment of our lives. Like literally like a 110-inch 8-pointer.
Right.
And like Sean had actually killed some bigger dude than that at that point, and it was like, but we were just so stoked. And we got, get the deer, film the recovery and everything, and we go back to Rex's house, and Gordon Whittington's there.
Oh my gosh.
And like, we pull up the footage, show it to him on TV, and he's watching. He's like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen." And like his camera guy was freaking out, and like it was like, so that was one of the first like, moments I had with anybody like in the industry kind of deal. And then after that, of course, just every trade show you go to, just meeting people.
Have you hunted with Cam Haynes?
Nope,
Nope.
never have. And actually haven't really spent much time with Cam, or met him much. But I mean, gosh, pretty much everybody else in the industry. I mean, there's a handful of guys that, we've crossed paths at so many different trade shows with so many different guys. But I mean, like, I think like the original, like going to the Iowa Deer Classic was huge.
Mhm.
It was like the ATA for us before
Right.
the ATA, and, like the Lee and Tiffany Lukoski, the Drurys, Kiskies. So Sean,
For sure.
Sean, when we were starting HB, still worked for Granger. That was kind of his day job. And he, the Kiskies were needing somebody to film. And so that's what he started doing kind of as his transition into HB was like,
Really?
I'm going to hunt and film for HB, but then I'm going to film for the Kiskies to pay the bills kind of deal.
Right.
And so he filmed
didn't
for
know
Don
that.
and Candy forever. And that's when they were doing Whitetail Freaks. And
What a show.
yeah. Dude, that
You just brought my childhood back up
Shoot.
into real life. Like
So that was
Vietnam flashbacks.
that was a show too that like I feel like kind of like road trips kind of changed the game. Like Whitetail Freaks was for sure a specific show, and you're right when we were getting started too. So
Mhm.
yeah,
That's like what me and Dakota were talking about on the phone earlier is like going back to putting you on the monument. Like there's something about it to where like between you, I put you guys up there, and Waddell and probably, Jim Shockey and a couple others, whatever. But there's like just different time periods of new generations of hunters that are through the TV industry that have changed it. You know what I mean? Like Michael made it to where for me growing up, it was like, okay, these hunting videos aren't like, oh, hey, it's Jim Bob here and we're doing,
sure.
you know what I mean? Like you guys changed the industry.
Yeah.
And that's why we put you guys up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we were fortunate to just, have an idea at the right time and that kind of hit.
Right.
And that's how it is with a lot of guys. Like I said, I mean, the Seek One guys have done a great job.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the others. I mean, there's been a bunch of different, the Kiefer brothers. I don't know if familiar with them, but they did that show Dropped. That was kind of cool. That was kind of like a groundbreaking
Even
deal.
Identical Draw guys.
Yes.
I like them
they're
too.
awesome too. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Kiefer brothers actually work with Jason Brown is his name.
Mm-hmm.
And he produced the very first season of HB. He edited
Really?
the very first season of HB, and it was not what HB is now. It wasn't once what we envisioned. It wasn't what he's capable of, and it's just kind of funny how that's all changed. But he did the Drop stuff, and then the Crick brothers.
Yeah,
they came to our film school and kind of did like an internship through Sean, and have kind of really found their kind of niche. And so it's pretty cool. Honestly, the film school, we basically haven't done it the past 2 years, but man, it's been pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
just the people that have come up through that, and the people we've met, and
how do I get
great.
a couple draft picks for the film school? I need some draft picks. I need
You
I need to draft a couple camera guys.
Shoot, I need to
how,
draft a camera guy. Shit.
Yeah, I need a couple draft picks for the film school.
Yeah,
I need to come out there and
dude,
scout
a lot of guys have come
see
up
who the
through
prospects
that.
are.
A lot of guys have come up through it for sure.
they have.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know it, but like I'd say 40% of the guys on HW are
Justin Michaels.
Yep.
Chaz and his bro.
Westcoat
went through it.
went through it. What's his face?
I asked Mike. I said
Nate Myers made a few guest appearances.
Yeah.
I asked if I
Invite
should
only.
go,
Yeah.
and you said no, you're good.
Did I?
Yeah, I asked you at one point, and you're like, you've got what we're gonna teach you down.
Yeah, good. Didn't want to waste your time.
You still got some to learn though, buddy. But you got what we're gonna teach you
Donnie,
down.
old Nate Meyer
Old
buddy,
Donnie.
Donnie.
Yeah,
Donnie, he came.
I forgot about that.
He wasn't an official candidate, but he came for like a day, I think. And
We talked about all the like if you take like Heartland, and I'm saying that as like Heartland bow hunter and waterfowl as an umbrella.
Yeah.
Heartland as a whole, like how many different people have stemmed, not necessarily even businesses, but careers throughout that. Like with all of your guys that are Midwest Land Group guys, there's a handful of your guys that own hunting lodges with Nate and with Joel, and same thing with us. Nate Meyer has a lodge. Joe has an outfit. Like, it's crazy to see. And same thing with us. Like, we do the media stuff, underneath the umbrella of everything that's gone through. Like, it's so crazy to see, like, all the different people that have been, somewhat touched or been a part of this umbrella that have gone out and also done other things. Like, who are the guys? The White Brothers.
yeah,
Which
Yep.
they did was it Campbell?
Campbell Outdoor Challenge back in the day. Yeah.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm an OG at watching this shit because there's a couple only people that would have known that reference.
Yeah.
But I've been watching this stuff for a long time. But I remember, like with those, and then they turned out to do incredible things as well.
Yep.
And like there's been a handful of different people that just throughout the Heartland umbrella that have gone and stemmed out and done. I mean, you guys also have the Lindsay Way. Not necessarily like you guys got them started by any means, but they're also attached. They're attached to the umbrella.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, dude, the industry is very small, and you surround yourself by people that do good things and that are successful, and it means a lot for everybody. So, it is kind of cool to think back on everybody that has, been a part of everything growing from 15, 16 years ago. It's pretty cool.
Are you guys? What season are you guys on now?
16 is what we just filmed. So
16.
yeah, so we've been doing it for
Gosh dang.
20 years. We've been doing it. Yeah.
That's a big number, dude. There's 2 big numbers for the premiere this year.
What are you guys
16
gonna do
and
for
10.
We're
20?
10. We're 10.
So we don't have any plans for like 20 necessarily, but we did a big HB 100th episode special, and I think our 200th episode is going to be this year.
Okay.
So I thought about that the other day. I was like, I need to look and see which episode that it's going to be, because we did like a 1 hour special,
Mhm.
and we did like a best of the 10 years or best of the first 100 episodes.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if we'll do.
It was an episode within the season, right? Or
Yeah.
no, was it something specially aired?
It was. I think it was an episode within the season, but it was a special, like 1 hour special.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know if we'll do that for the 200th episode or not, but
You guys usually throw a party or
we'll see. I mean, we're gonna do the premiere this year.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
gotta come to that, dude.
okay.
Heartland
Have to come
premiere
to it.
2023 is June 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it at usually?
Golf tournament June 16th.
3
Yes,
days
sir.
after my birthday.
You better sign up. It's my wife's birthday.
What is it? A
When is
scramble?
it?
Oh,
The
she
premiere.
She gonna be on a hole.
I said,
She's
hey.
gonna be on a hole.
I said, we're planning. I said, hey, you good with doing this premiere on your birthday? She goes, oh yeah, hell yeah, sounds like a big party.
Oh boy.
I go, but you know our wedding anniversary is the golf tournament. She's like, oh yeah. She goes, that thing was fun. I'm gonna work a hole that day.
Yes.
She
She
was-
worked one this last year.
Well, she didn't officially. She had made plans with the girls to go to like lunch and
Sign
stuff.
me up.
Yeah.
And then she like canceled and was like, that was a lot of fun. Like I want to ride around in the cart and like
Yeah.
be like, help out with the.
It was cool.
Yeah.
They were on the hole-in-one hole, I
for
think.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. With Haley and all that.
Yeah.
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 So anyway, yeah, June 17th is going to be the premiere, and June 16th is going to be the golf tournament. We're still working
And
on
it's
the
a
details,
party,
but-
y'all. Y'all better come.
Hey, it's a party, but also there's bigger things at hand that are done with that tournament, and it's changed over time. And one of the things that you guys did last year is you guys made an incredible donation.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do it again this year. It'll be a fundraiser charity. We haven't like landed on what
But
charity.
it was
it'll be,
outrageous.
but-
The amount of money was outrageous.
yeah, it was like $23,000 or maybe
Dude,
more than that.
Hey, is
I
it
put-
still same golf course?
Nope.
Ooh.
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh.
We're still.
well,
we're-
as soon as you know, let me know.
Yeah,
Let's go to Adams
we're still.
Point.
So I can get my
Adam's Point is up on the list.
I gotta get my practice rounds in like you did last year.
Oh, dude, I got.
Do you play a lot of golf?
Not a ton. I got some buddies that are members at Adams Point, so I golf there quite a bit. So that's like home field advantage for me. But no, I'm
That's
not.
what I'm
not.
saying.
I'm
Yeah,
not a
that's
good
what I'm
golfer.
saying.
I
Yeah.
used to work at Adams Point.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I'm
Me
not a
too.
good golfer anyway. But
Yeah.
but I do love to golf. But fishing kind of gets in the way. But yeah, the we're gonna do another charity fundraiser deal, and the thing I'm kind of like challenging some of these courses, and I kind of waited too long to do is like everybody has their rates, and I'm like, okay, I can guarantee you
Adams Point's pricey.
144 team or 144 players, and this is for a fundraiser. Like, can you like work with me a little bit?
Yeah,
you know,
what- yeah.
and it's tough with like Arbanus is county owned, Adams Point
Yep.
city owned, so they kind of have their stuff they got to work around. But we'll see. Adams Point was where we had it scheduled originally
Mhm.
last year, and
I
we had to
would love
move it
that.
because the dates got screwed up. But
Mm-hmm.
so
I'm
we'll
sure
see.
Stone
It'll be
Canyon,
somewhere
yeah.
close. Stone
Yeah.
Canyon's booked. I
We did
think,
that
but-
a couple years ago, Stony.
Yeah, I
or-
love that
yeah.
course. We do it for
That's a fun course.
for fun, but
Yeah. It's a hard course.
yeah, there's a lot of different courses in the area.
Mhm.
But yeah, come to the premiere. It's a hell of a time.
I'll sign up for a tournament too. Smack it around.
Hey,
Get you a
no.
team.
Hey, if you're playing, you gotta come get on my team.
All right, I'll play.
So I wanted to ask, since we got you, and
You
we
don't
got
have me.
and
I'm
we
gonna,
got, and
I'm
we,
gonna, I'm gonna take a break.
you got to take a
Yeah.
whiz.
A whiz.
Yeah, go take a
do what
whiz.
you
I'll
gotta
talk-
do.
I'll talk to Parker for a second. No, but you should come to the golf tournament. It'd be so fun.
Love to.
Like if you.
I'd love to smack it around.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, it'll be you two and me and my dad. We'll be good.
Okay.
as our team.
Yeah.
That would be. So
I ain't
much
playing
fun.
with Ronnie this year.
I'll rack it around. Yeah, for sure.
Ronnie ain't got them sticks, huh?
No, hey, he got them sticks.
Hey, I
but-
wanted to provide you boys with an update though.
Oh, here we go. What's
I want
the
your
update?
opinion.
What's the opinion?
Sober October.
No, no. Which I enjoyed actually. Now
Yeah,
that I
me
look
too.
back at it.
That's why
But,
I'm doing 75 hard.
I thought about doing that, but that's too hard.
We should all do it together.
Get my license, man. I'm really looking into it.
For. Oh, about hunting.
Hunting
Well,
license.
you better get on it quick because the season's dwindling, dude.
Yeah, like
well, not
a week.
now. I mean, I
You
don't, I
can.
don't
I'm
I'm just
expect to
saying you're
hunt.
getting like your hunting license.
You can
in
get a
general.
freebie license right now.
Well, I just need to just knock it out.
Yeah.
Just so you guys can quit talking shit on me.
No, we definitely want you to get out there so you can at least see what we're obsessed about.
Because I feel like once I do it and actually get a hunt under my belt.
I took him turkey hunting one time,
Oh, that'll get you hooked.
and he showed up in Timberland boots.
Fuck yeah, I did. Straight out of
He
college.
showed up in Tim's.
Timberlands.
He showed up in Tim's.
Well, first of all, you didn't give them the whole story. They wanted to go drinking the night before. I went to Missouri State, so they came down to Springfield, and he said, "Oh yeah, we're hunting right by Springfield." No, it was about a 3-hour drive.
Jeez.
Yeah. So of course
And we
we were out
partied in
drinking.
Springfield hard.
He's like, we're leaving at 3,
Yeah.
2:30.
We left right from the bar, and then
We got there and it rained its ass off for 2
Yeah.
days.
Ugh.
we didn't see a single
A turkey.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah. And I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not
Young and
filming this
dumb,
shit
man.
anymore."
Young and dumb.
But
So I want to ask, what do you guys got up your sleeve with the cast? Because I'm looking from an outsider and I'm trying to figure out what HB's got up their sleeve. Can you give me any info?
Man, everybody just keeps pushing me.
I'm
pushing
asking.
me,
I'm
bro.
interested. You got a super fan over here. I want to know. Yeah.
I'm straight.
I was going to film an episode with you that one day. You didn't show up.
Oh, so it's all down to me.
No, man, I mean, it's no secret that I'm just obsessed with the fishing side of things. And actually, before we even started HW, the idea was to start a fishing show.
Right.
And it just so happened that, like, with Logan and Ronnie kind of coming in the mix, it just made sense to go the waterfowl route. But I'm a huge fisherman. Sean's dad's a huge fisherman. We have a handful of guys that just love to fish. And so we've kind of been like, oh, like, what are ways to grow the brand and do the whole deal. We tossed around like the Heartland Angler side of things, and we said, no, let's keep it separate but tied together kind of deal. And so, yeah, so we're working on a new fishing concept and gonna be filming some fishing content here pretty quick.
That's
So,
exciting.
heading to Florida pretty soon.
HB
What a life.
production.
Yep.
Gonna-
Yeah, and I'm gonna be on I'm gonna make a few guest appearances.
So are you going to be host?
No.
No.
I mean, maybe for a couple episodes.
okay.
I fish for fun, bro.
Okay, I
Fun
get
fish.
you. Hey,
No,
that's
it's
what
how
we were
we-
talking
fun-
about.
fun
Yeah,
fish.
that's what we were talking about. Fun
Yeah.
hunts. The fishing is his fun fish.
Oh yeah,
Dude, here's the bottom line. I love everything.
Yeah.
Like, I got to go on that crane hunt down in Texas with HW guys. When we started HW, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. Like, I'll do like 5 trips a year, and it just gets to the point of like it's time, you know. And
Yeah.
I got kids and like just travel. I mean, I travel so much for the hunting side of things, so it's like, oh man, like I wish you could preserve fall and like spread it out over the course of 12 months. But so yeah, I mean, I'm all about everything, but it just comes down to like time management and what makes sense. But
Yeah.
that's
but
why.
yeah,
That's
I'm-
why I laugh, because we all think we have so much time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
I
so
know.
I mean, you know, we're lucky, you know, way luckier than most that guys that are like,
Mhm.
I get to hunt like 2 days out of the whole year, and you know, I got to get away from my naggy wife, and I gotta like.
Mhm.
I grew up around that stuff, and just like, man, like we're fortunate, you know, for sure.
Okay, I got one more story from a long time ago. After I quit working at the credit counter and quit selling
Unreal.
credit, I started full time at the fishing counter at Bass Pro. And you were ordering some worms. You ordered.
I was ordering worms.
no, but you were like ordering worms, and then like they would get delivered there, and then you'd pick up some worms. What were they? You had some sort of worm, like I don't know. It was like
Was it a
10
specific worm?
Yes, it was like a 10-inch or something like that we had to order or something like that.
Not ringing a bell.
Regardless, you were picking something up at the real counter, and I was like, "This is Mike," and you were saying something, and you were like complaining about something. You're like, "Well, yeah, and we got to do this." You were talking to the guy. You knew the guy or had talked to him before. One of the guys that worked at the counter, and I was like, "Well, I said, I'm like, you got one of the best jobs in the world." And your reply, and it stuck with me for all this time. Your reply was, "It's not all that it's cracked up to be." And for the longest time, I never understood it.
Damn.
And now I do. And now I do. Because it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Dang, I
Sometimes.
didn't mean to hit you like that, but
I know, dude.
no.
He hit him hard.
Well, I get it all the time. Like, dude, you hunt for a living, and like, trust me, what I do, I would never change it for the world. It's the best. It is the best job
Yeah.
in the world. But nobody has any idea
Right.
how hard that I work, how hard that Sean and I grinded our asses off from the very beginning, and still do to this day.
Right.
Like, yeah, hunting is what we.
It's a business.
Our business affords us the opportunity to hunt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with like Logan and Ronnie and like a lot of you guys, like you're all working your day jobs.
Sure.
Like you don't HW doesn't pay the bills for everybody, and you all go on hunts, and that's what you're paid to do.
Mm-hmm.
The network doesn't pay HW $5 million a year and to pay everybody who has talent to be on the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so like I don't mean that in negativity, but like people, I guess I do maybe get tired of hearing people like, oh, dude, you hunt for a living, you're living the dream. Like,
Right.
I don't hunt for a living. Like,
Right.
it's a whole nother deal. So, wouldn't change it for the world, like I said.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's
It's a business, man.
a lot more
Yeah.
to it than meets the eye. For
Yeah.
especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Sweat equity.
Yeah.
Podcasts,
Podcast.
YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
TikTok,
Mm-hmm. Instagram reel. Hey, no more
Instagram.
photos. You got to do reels. Like,
Instagram,
the
Facebook, Twitter. I don't tweet much anymore.
yeah.
I'm not much of a
But the landscape continues to change.
dude, nonstop.
It
And
continues to change.
we're working harder now than we ever
For sure.
never did, for sure, from a content standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So
Was there ever times where you, and this is kind of like fresh in my memory because I was just at Salt Plains, and Thomas Rhett was there while we were there, and he was talking to one of the guys that I'm friends with, and he's actually best friends with Parker McCollum. So they had like some sort of common interest where Thomas Rhett was talking to his buddy and was like, hey, Parker should do this. And they were somewhat talking about Parker had voiced that he's like, is this the last year that I get to do this? And it's like like a year ago, he had a #1 hit on country radio.
yeah,
He's selling out stadiums, but he still has this doubt sometimes of like, how long is this going to last? Like this crazy thing that we're doing.
yeah,
And for you, and dude, I feel the exact same thing with,
HW is
with,
the
with
same,
what we
yeah.
get to do is I sometimes I go like this, holy cow, this is a dream. Holy cow, it's crazy that this is even happening. How sustainable is this? Do you ever get the feeling where you're like, holy cow, we're lucky to do this one more time, or are we getting to do this one more? Like, has it ever felt through the duration of the 16 episodes, was there ever a season where you're like, all right, boys, if things don't freaking sharpen up for us, did it ever go through some gritty times of some like, ooh, we're
Oh.
getting to the what are we gonna do here, fellas?
I mean, for sure, starting out like the initial years of like hopefully this kind of takes off and works and stuff. But like, I constantly have to, and it's good to like rehash and like relive some of those moments of like meeting these people that were so influential in the industry, and like because like that kind of reignites the passion, and it kind of humbles you. And constantly, like Sean and I have dealt with that over the years of like putting too much pressure on yourself of like, we got to kill, we have to perform, we have to we have to shoot X amount of deer, and like it takes the fun out of it kind of deal.
Right.
It's like, hang on, like rewind a little bit, like kind of like hearing some of your stories of like meeting initially on like that's really, I mean, it's cool to hear because like that kind of stuff kind of keeps you grounded and keeps you humbled and keeps you realizing like you have a shitty day and like you realize like, oh, I could be freaking working at some warehouse and
Mm-hmm.
working for the man and
Blowing up
Right.
rock.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, those are the kind of stories that kind of keep you grounded and keep you thankful for
Yeah.
sure.
You think that there's a couple kids around the country that are Michael Hunsucker for Halloween? There are. There's got to be. Q, back me up on this. There's a
Shoot.
couple kids that dress up as Mike Hunsucker for
In Odessa, for sure.
Halloween.
Probably
in
so.
Odessa. In Odessa.
Probably so.
I would say.
I'm just dressing up as Rip from Yellowstone.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
were.
you were. You play a good Rip.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. You're not a bad Rip.
Yeah. You said I was a badass.
You are kind of a badass.
Yeah.
Rip is a badass.
He is.
You're a Yellowstone guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm kinda.
You and
Kinda.
Ronnie.
Here's my thing. It's kind of cheesy.
No,
No,
I'm kidding. I'll send you this video later. It said,
I think it's really good.
It said this is Yellowstone in 30 seconds.
I just started it.
Oh,
it's really good.
Yeah, but it gets to be. I mean, it's,
It's
like
kinda
any
like-
series, right?
It's like Sons of Anarchy with horses.
it gets to be whatever. But no, it's good. I think
I
it's
really
good.
like Sons of Anarchy. Damn.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This is a
Damn,
great
shots
show.
fired.
I like Sons of Anarchy too. I liked it. I'm just saying.
But I know what you mean. It can get real corny.
Seen it
Yeah.
before. But
That's kind of
Yeah.
all series.
But are you
Yeah, that's
invested? Are you invested into Yellowstone though?
no.
That's why.
And part of it's because I can't sit still long enough to watch a full episode.
yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's slower.
Yeah.
For
now,
sure.
Ozark.
See, if you that's the
love
thing
that
though.
one.
If you can sit through that, why couldn't you sit through a full thing?
I
of
know, but my
Yellowstone?
mouth waters the entire time during Ozark. It's shot.
Because he's been
I
on the
get-
Ozarks. He ain't
Yeah.
never been to Yellowstone.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
He ain't
I'm
never
just-
ridden a horse.
No, he hasn't.
Ozark is
Ain't
shot
no country
so well.
It
in
is.
Georgia.
It is.
Ozark
it
is
Incredible.
Yeah,
in Georgia.
In
Shout out to
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Shout out to Georgia. Thank you for paying for the bills.
Yeah.
Hey, when is Georgia going to have us down for a hunt, yo?
Yeah.
Seriously, I wonder if I need to ask Drew if Seek One gets some credits for Travel Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of all the shows, it's like Travel Georgia.
Uh-huh.
We actually used to back in the day.
Oh, he's hired by the state for sponsorship.
Yes, so Georgia has all these tax credits,
Uh-huh.
but then they also have the Department of Tourism that pays these shows to film them down there.
Oh, badass.
So
And
does
they
so does
promote the
Canada.
state.
So does Canada.
Okay.
We
We
do
did it
it.
for
We do it when we
Saskatchewan.
go to.
Oh, that's
Canada.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
Logan told me that. Yeah.
They give
So
us
like,
money.
back in the day, North Dakota used to give us free tags. South Dakota, same kind of deal. Iowa's just so generous. If if you have a TV show or you're famous, they will let you buy a tag. You don't have to apply for it for 4 years. They'll let you buy it for $700.
No way.
But no, but I'm not complaining too
Yeah,
much.
I ain't mad at it.
I mean,
Hopefully I get
we gotta
that
buy them
famous someday.
anyways. But yeah, no, it is interesting to see like the different areas of departments of tourism and different places that are involved in promoting hunting, filming,
Yeah, it was
episodic stuff.
It was
whatever.
unique whenever Logan and Ronnie figured that out with Saskatchewan, because at the border it was always like a hassle because
Yes, that's
oh my
that's-
gosh,
it's
in
worth it just
Saskatchewan.
for that
and
green
dude,
card. Just
I'm telling you,
I'm in.
whenever we
Green
when-
card. I love it.
wait a minute, green. What? That's not what I meant. Green light.
Yeah.
whenever we went and we had the deal with the tour board or whatever, it was like they rolled out the red carpet, like they
Red
literally
carpet,
like,
green light, same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
they literally were like,
Yeah,
come
come on
in.
through, yeah.
What do you guys need signed? Boom, boom, boom. But in years past, it was
What
go
are you
through
doing?
all of our
Why
stuff.
are you
They want to,
here?
all this crazy stuff. But whenever we had that, they were like, "Come on!"
I didn't
in.
think about
We're
like,
excited to have you.
for you guys, like a truck full of guys, a huge trailer. Like you guys are like the red flag of
The red flag.
Yeah.
of the border. Yeah.
Well, they even get mad if you bring. Now, here's the other crazy thing. Coming back into the U.S., they're like, "Come on in,
Yeah.
come on in." But going into Canada is way harder.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, boy.
We do get to go back in May. I'm excited.
I heard a little
Yeah.
reverse migration, Pound Town.
Yes, sir.
That trip is a grind.
It is.
That one's a grind.
No sleep.
No sleep
No sleep.
I'm
because the days are so long.
in.
They're so long.
Yeah.
And like you're scouting super late, and then like the sunrise in the morning
As soon as
is
you're done scouting,
5 hours
up.
long. Like the sun goes like this in the morning. Like
Slow.
barely, like the slowest sunrise on the planet.
aren't you a filmmaker?
I am.
Shouldn't that make you happy?
That,
The golden hour is now 3.
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
But
but the fact that we
yeah.
have to be out there at 3:00 in the morning to set a snow goose rig.
dude, I'm not gonna lie. I love waterfowl hunting, snow goose
You
hunting
ain't
thing.
about that snow goose thing. Not a lot.
I would in Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Hey.
That's the thing. That's the like pass.
Yeah.
That's like
But you would
North
not
the
do
only
it?
time.
North Dakota,
Here-
Canada. Here, ugh.
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
buddy Scott will talk
Unless
me
you
into
were
it,
champ.
but-
Unless you were a
Either way,
champ.
though, if you're gonna hunt the white goose, you got to be a grinder. You have to,
Have
whether
to.
it's here or Canada.
It's a dirty, sloppy, wet. It's always like thawing out, like March.
Yeah,
Ugh.
you get dicked half, 3/4 of the time. You get dicked.
here.
3/4
Here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never forget. I was in college, and I was like, that's when I really got into duck hunting in college when I was at Mizzou, and we would hunt Eagle Bluffs down there. and we would go me and my roommates every morning. We'd go down and draw in. If we
Eagle
didn't-
Bluffs is a banger.
dude, I'm not gonna lie, it might be trash now. It was.
It still
we-
is.
Oh, we do no. It might be trash now. We smashed, dude. We killed a bunch of ducks there. I'm
Dude,
not kidding.
My dad used to have to drive to Columbia for surgeries and shit, and he would text me. He's like, "Dude, this place is on fire." This was like 3 years ago, and it was still on fire.
Really?
I
Okay.
guarantee
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, it was like average wise. I don't know how they did, but like we knew the area, and it's like if we drew in, we were doing good, and if we didn't draw, we'd go deer hunting. But my roommates were from down southeast Missouri, and so like one spring, they're like, "Yeah, come on down. You know, we'll snow goose hunt." And I'll never forget. I'll never forget. We did the old ditch sneak in the rice fields,
Oh yeah.
and it was the coolest 10 seconds of my life.
And then you pick up
Cripples for 2 hours, and you're slocking through the mud. I was like, and like trashing your guns. I was like, okay, I did this once in my life. I'm good.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bit of fun for a lot of bit of work.
It-
Always is.
It was fun popping over the levee and just like doosh, 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 doosh. But,
Yeah, and
that
you
was
shot
about
60 geese in that.
it.
It's nuts.
Crazy.
Good eats.
Good eats.
That's what I want.
Send them up to Nadler's, cook them into some sticks.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
See,
Is
I don't
that-
want to sit in a deer
okay,
stand. I
so-
want to do that.
Is that where you guys take your deer, Nadlers?
I do a lot of it my own, but like I have a list of people literally because I shoot a lot of does every year, just like herd management type stuff, and I have a list of people that either want deer, and then some people like I don't have a truck, but I don't have a way to get it there. But like we take it to Nadler's and have it processed or whatever, so that's where I drop off a lot of deer.
But you guys had homie there for a while. What was his name?
Oh yeah, Steve Sessions. Yeah,
Steve Sessions.
dude was awesome.
Yes.
He was so awesome. Clayton sent a Snapchat. It's kind of gross, but kind of funny. I think it was like this past fall. He's like, my last Steve Sessions bratwurst out of his freezer. It was like 4 years old. He's like,
Oh man.
he said it was awesome still, but yeah, he got out of it and got in the restaurant game for a little while and isn't doing any of the processing stuff anymore. But yeah, so we use Nadler's quite a bit. And then I've heard my wife is from Lamont.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a Lamont Meats. Have you heard
Yeah.
of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And I've had a couple people take deer there and said it was just awesome. Great
I'd like
packaging.
to try something
I
different.
bet.
Yeah, my brother-in-law takes his beef there, and
I definitely
Good
want to try
things.
something. I've just literally every deer ever I've taken to Nadler's.
Yeah.
I just would like, not that I don't like Nadler's. I love Nadler's. Of course, that's why I take the stuff there. But
it's kind
I
of one of
would
those
love-
deals, man. Like you get tired of like the same style, the
Yep.
same deal, and you take it somewhere else. Like, oh, this is great, and you talk to a buddy, and you have some places that make different stuff. So
Yeah, but Lamont just put in that huge like processing building there
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
And they promote it. They've been promoting it actually for like the last 3 or 4 years.
nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge. I know like my grandma's they used to be in the cattle business, and once they heard about it, it was just like, yeah, that was the place to take your beef.
Yeah,
So-
I got something for you. You ever had pickled goose?
no, I have not.
So I was down at Maple Ranch, and Brian had gone on I think it was Brian Illig, who owns Maple Ranch, went on I think it was a mountain lion hunt with Fred Eichler in Colorado. And
Okay.
Fred's wife, Michelle, had this like family recipe of pickled goose, and I'm trying to think of the other term for it. I don't know. It's not,
Nasty.
no, dude.
It was good.
Pickled fire. Hold on. I'm going to look
Really?
this up because I don't want to screw this up. But
And it's jarred and everything and processed like that. I mean,
not jarred like you would a pickled goose, pastrami, goose pastrami.
Oh, gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so
that's really
basically-
good.
We've had it. Lyle.
Lyle was telling us about it. Yeah.
Pastrami, goose pastrami or corn goose.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, you put it in this giant, like a Yeti or whatever for like 10 days.
You
Let it-
brine it?
Yeah, brine it, let it
Mhm.
cure, and then you
Yep.
smoke it, and then you slice it, and the stuff that we ate was like cold, like with like cheese and crackers, and it
Yep.
literally was like almost like biltong, like almost
Yeah,
like
yeah.
jerky,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like the best thing I've ever had from goose, like
Really?
best thing ever. Yeah,
Lyle on a trip one year, he brought goose bologna, and it was really, really good.
similar type.
I guess
Yeah.
Brad's got some secret goose bologna recipe.
Hmm.
Brad has it. Lyle did it.
Yeah,
one time.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I like for me, like I'm slow cooking them in a crock pot and like making tacos or like
Yeah.
Marsha, Nate's mom makes like some fire ass goose chimichangas.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
she
she
does.
does.
But like, that's like, shredded, slow cooked, and then like making steaks and jerky and stuff. But yeah, that pastrami.
We had whenever we were in Cold Bay, we had Brant with the skin on, and they
Brandt's supposed to be like
oh dude.
better than duck or like
It's
duck.
supposed to be
Oh,
the
dude.
best goose you can eat, and it definitely is.
Oh dude,
It was phenomenal.
tastes like a ribeye.
Yeah,
No
I
kidding.
mean, and I love crane.
Similar to crane. Yeah.
Dude, I love
Or
crane.
better.
yeah.
Like crane is phenomenal.
Dude,
but whenever we were eating this Brant, and I think that they what did they end up doing? I think that they marinated it for a couple days or something like that.
Yeah. He let it marinate for like maybe a day.
But he kept the skin on
Yeah,
and then seared it, and oh
Crispy.
my gosh, dude, it was
Yeah.
so good.
yeah. It was super good. It almost reminded me of like having. So does crane. Crane does this to me too, though. It reminds me of like a deer steak. Still has this similar like little gamey taste to it.
Yeah.
But it's very similar.
Should
Oddly
have came to the
enough.
Chiefs game last weekend, bro.
I saw you
Tailgate.
guys had that little elk.
I
thing.
cooked literally like half an elk backstrap.
Oh boy,
Oh,
I bet that was.
so good.
Q shot an elk this year.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It was
It's still on my bucket list to
You
do.
got- You got it? Did you keep all the meat?
yeah,
oh, yeah.
yes sir.
Sweet.
Yep. Yeah,
yeah, he's a little stingy fucker.
What do you mean? I made you
Yeah, but I'm
burgers.
trying to, I don't want no damn burger.
I
dude.
gave
I
you
want a piece of that
jerky.
backstrap, dude.
Huh?
Come on, bro.
Special occasions. Come on now.
And what you giving me for Christmas? I want some backstrap.
Sunday.
All you got to say.
He's got
Hey,
you,
yeah,
he's got
Sunday.
you bookings.
Sunday, can we get some freaking backstrap for
You
Sunday?
know what,
The
Mike?
Chiefs are in
Come
the
back
damn
over.
playoffs.
We might have some backstraps for you.
All right.
I did have some.
Hey, I bought the pizza tonight. You get the backstrap, all right?
Fucking
Come on.
Domino's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey.
Nobody offered me any Domino's.
Hey, we got the Domino's.
Shit.
Come on, bro. No, I want to ask this too. At what point? So I know you guys, of course, have had the show. You hunted all these different properties and stuff like that. When did the HB farm come into effect, and like, what is the infrastructure for that? Because I know that like we have the HW lease, and it's kind of like, like that's our spot to where if it happens, that it's like the guys get to go and do that. What does the infrastructure look like for the HB farm? Is that something that, and also kind of like, I'm somewhat interested in like what that meant for you guys as like being able to do that of like, and I'm just basing it off of my understanding. Is it HB farm as in, hey, this is Heartland Bowhunter. This is the farm that Heartland Bowhunter gets to hunt. Like what's the infrastructure with that?
So our main farm up north, originally Rex had bought with Brian Kraft from Midwest
Right.
Land Group and a couple other investors as an investment property. We just leased it from them, and so that was our lease that basically Sean and I managed and started handling. And a handful of guys, we'd all hunt up there occasionally, off and on.
And these are
then-
deer that we've seen.
Oh yeah, yep.
Off
So this
of
is
this
like
farm.
2012, 2013.
Okay, so
And
a
then-
while back.
Yeah, so they bought it a while back, and then Rex.
That's 10 years ago, dude.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, Rex. No shit. A couple of years later, after that they bought it, Rex bought those guys out, and said like he had sold a property here, locally, and was like, I want to, roll into that place, and so Rex bought that property outright. We continue to lease it, and so like it's kind of our, deal to run and gun on and whatever, and but Rex and Mary spent a lot of time up there, Sean's parents, and it was funny. There was like a little,
But they
you
got
know.
a spot to stay up there. There's a cabin.
it's decent. Yeah,
Whoa.
so there was
No,
like
I know it's not decent.
so there was like a barn house that was there originally, like an old farmhouse, but nice, like pretty big. Like it was like a 4-bedroom old barn that was converted into a house back in the 80s. So like, I mean, I shouldn't say pretty nice for a bunch of guys hunting,
For
what I
sure.
mean? And so like Sean's mom and dad would spend a bunch of time up there, and his mom was like pretty tired of catching mice. She's
Yeah,
like, we just built our own place, and we had a shop too. And so ended up tearing down the shop, and Rex built a big metal building, like half shop, half living quarters.
Perfect.
Super nice place. And so, yeah, I mean, it's been, like you said, 10 years now of managing that property and hunting that property. And we've killed some just amazing deer off of it. And it's in Missouri still, you know.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but like it's in Missouri. And so we've kind of dealt with the struggles of it. I mean, it's just under 1,000 acres. So pretty big chunk. And we
Now, when you say it's in Missouri, from the people that are listening, what is that?
yes, great perspective. So
Yeah.
Perfect.
I was throwing shade on.
That cannot
Yeah,
be perfect.
I'm throwing shade
More
on
perfect.
Missouri because Missouri's
Because I'm looking at it, I'm just like, damn,
Yeah,
I thought
for
we
sure.
were a prime spot.
Perfect.
You know?
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect question.
So Missouri's rifle season is smack dab in the middle of the rut, which is amazing if you're a rifle hunter. Amazing if
The
you
rut,
want to
the
kill
rut is
stuff.
the best time. The rut.
I
is-
know what that is.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't know.
No,
The rut
you're
is
good.
when the deer are getting down.
Getting
And so
down
they-
and dirty.
to fuck.
The bucks are just lose their mind, you know, and they're just
Right.
cruising. And so our rifle season is right in the middle of that, and so it's great for hunting opportunity and great for excitement and whatever, but it makes it tough for getting deer to grow to a certain age.
Okay.
And so like the number one determining factor of a deer being big is age. So
Right.
way beyond genetics, way beyond everything else. Like a deer has to get old to get big.
Mhm.
And so, you know, in Missouri, the deer just don't make it past 2.5 very often. And so that farm we had initially started managing it, growing deer and trying to get deer to maturity. You know, all the neighbors are shooting these deer and shooting these deer and shooting. So we started leasing up some properties, you know, around it and, you know, trying to protect the border, so to speak, and had a lot of success with it. And, you know,
And how do you
really
protect that border? Just curious.
just by leasing the properties where people were shooting, you know, the deer.
Mhm.
And like, so like one of the farms that we lease is like 500 acres,
Okay.
straight cattle pasture,
Mhm.
like not a lot of deer on it, but more like a border, you know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And so, so we did that for a while, you know, we leased a handful of properties and like, but then it got to the point where like other people like, oh, they found out, you know, you're hunting there, you know, and other people want to throw money at it. And like, that's the number one thing for me that turns me off of anything hunting wise is just like the financial part of it. Like, you know, guys throwing a bunch of money at certain things is like, gosh, like that just, it takes me out of it really.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, 'cause we could spend a ton of money and just lease everything and have a little sanctuary and kill big deer. But like, I mean, I'd rather kill like the deer I killed this year,
Mhm.
Floppy, like that deer,
Mm-hmm.
Cass County, people everywhere,
Mhm.
everywhere. It's a freaking miracle that deer made it to 7.5 years old. Freaking miracle that, I mean, I could have killed him 10, 12, 15 times with a gun. You know what I mean? Like just like one of those just crazy deals. Like that deer means more to me than, you know, having a deer that's, you know, on a 3,000 acre area that I lease or whatever that nobody else can kind of get to. So,
Mhm.
you know, it's all relative, you know?
Not only that, you had a very successful whitetail year.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of had a horseshoe up your ass like that. I don't know if you're good. I don't know if you're good or you're just super lucky.
Yeah.
For the last like couple years, but the consistency.
Couple years, yeah, see-
like the consistency. I'm like, oh,
I
maybe
was
he's
going to
good.
say,
Yeah.
Maybe
it's
he's
been
good.
a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last two have been good.
people been saying I've been lucky for a long time.
Right.
Mhm.
No, hey, you make your own luck
Dude, you
Right.
just know how to.
No, you put the time
You know
in,
how
though.
to. Yeah, exactly.
for sure.
You put the time in.
That, I mean, that will, I say that all the time. The number one thing for killing big bucks is time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Are you saying in the fact of the amount of time that you are in stand or you're in stand at the right time?
Yeah, I mean, all of the above. Ability to hunt when the conditions are right.
Correct.
Ability to
If you
scout.
had, yeah,
Ability to check cameras. Ability to
you got
know,
a buck that
dedicate.
you got a buck that's regular. You're getting cell cam pictures of it, but you got a Tuesday o'clock meeting in Overland Park.
Yeah.
You don't get to go shoot that deer, but
Yeah.
Mike Hunsucker does.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's one thing I'm trying
and
to like get
weekend
better.
warrior guys. Like, well, I got 2 days to hunt. I'm gonna hunt. These are my days. I'm gonna hunt. I'm gonna hunt.
These are my days.
Conditions
regardless
are
of
like not
when.
great. You may
Yeah.
be doing more harm than good. Never know. You may get lucky, but you just never know.
Yeah.
Dude, and cell cams. How have cell cams just made a difference?
I don't want to talk about cell camps on a podcast. Let's not bring any
You're good.
light to pot. No, I'm just joking. Just because like some states are outlawing them, and there's like
Really?
people are like, oh, when's it taking it too far? And I'm just like,
I'm not informed which states are.
well, shoot, Arizona, I think outlawed trail cameras entirely.
No way.
Why? Why do they do that?
I think mainly because Arizona is mainly private or public land entirely, and so you'd get like a public water hole, and there'd be like 20 cameras on like the Primo Arizona units. You get like 20, trail cameras all around it, and then you get competition for these. It's public land, but people are selling hunts, and there's guys that are like there was all kind. I mean, when you get into the big time Western stuff, it's crazy, big money, like finder's fees. You get these guys that are just billionaires. Like, I want to kill the biggest elk you've ever seen. I will pay you to guide me. I'll pay your assistant guide. I'll pay a finder's fee if you find a 400-inch bull.
It gets messy.
Yeah.
And so I think that's
And
why
money
Arizona
talks,
was like,
yeah.
no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But a lot of people are saying like, oh, cell cameras are taking it too far. For me, no. No, they're saving me. They're saving my time, which is the most valuable asset that I have at this point in my life. And so, like, I mean, our farm up north, 2.5 hours away. Even the farm, that I hunt in Cass County is like 30 minutes away. Cattle farm, gates, all that stuff. Like, checking cameras is a half-day deal minimum.
For sure. And you're getting in there.
Yeah,
That's
and you're
the
getting
other
in there
thing, yeah.
disturbing stuff, riding around on a range or
Right.
whatever. Like, even if you're walking, whatever. Yeah, just crazy.
So
going
crazy how
back-
the landscape's changed over the years. And I think that, I mean, no one knows it better than you, but like it's definitely crazy that over the year, I mean, dude, your site tells you what range deer's at now. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, could you ever imagine before that would happen? Like,
Yeah.
that's nuts.
Yeah, no, the Garmin Zero is insane, and that's another kind of like cell cam deal. People are like, like that's cheating. I'm like, do you have a rangefinder?
Yeah.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like shoot a longbow if you thinks everything's cheating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why I hate people that just hate on everything. It's like, do what you want to do. I'm a bow hunter. I like to challenge myself. The site, like the Garmin site, doesn't shoot the animal for you. It doesn't give you any advantage as far as like
You're still looking through a peephole and
yeah.
you're still putting a dot on the
yeah, you
deer.
still got to make the
take a
shot.
skill.
And
Yeah.
also, he's got a dude sitting 3 foot away from him up in the tree as well with camera gears and all,
Yeah.
everything else.
And he stinks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's adding against the odds. But no, you still got to make the shot. And so and it makes a lot of guys more ethical. You know what I mean? Like a more better shot. And so like I'm all for that. But yeah, it's just funny. Everybody. It's a personal thing. Hunting's a personal thing, right? Like nobody. You don't have to judge everybody. You do what you want to do and what makes you happy. I like to challenge myself. I like to, I like to challenge myself. But I also am in the business of killing stuff.
Right.
Like, and I personally like to go after a deer and try to kill them, and then go to this random state, try to figure out a deer, kill them.
Right.
I like to do that. If I had a day job and had way less time to hunt, I might hunt with a recurve in Missouri and hunt one deer every year. You know, and if I got them, great. If I didn't, so be it. But it's just different. It's different to everybody.
We talked about this. Me and Q talked about it the other day, of just like the fact of doing the TV show aspect with the hunting, like that pushes. I mean, and here's a perfect example: is like whenever we're at somewhere and it's like, all right, we kind of know what we're gonna do for the next morning, but like, do we need to scout? Maybe we could probably get away with not scouting, but we like have to go on the scout anyways because we have to make sure, because we have more at risk, because we're trying to produce a TV show.
Yeah.
And if Saturday don't work and we don't get what we need Saturday, so like what I think that a lot of times what we do is we do go the extra mile because we have a little bit more at risk. And I think that maybe that's probably what you guys do too, is and it's helped us with being, and same thing, we have to finish birds better. Like we don't get to shoot birds over the top. Every bird that we're trying to shoot is finishing in the decoys. And I think that the fact that us having to do that has allowed us to be better hunters in a whole,
No doubt.
in a grand scheme, because of this little pressure that we have of having to produce the TV show. It's because of the fact that allows us to be better at like what we do. Like we have to fine tune it. And that's the thing, is like I was telling Q, I'm like, whenever we do go buddy hunt, I'm like, nobody finishes geese like this. Whenever I go hunt with like other people,
Yeah.
like they don't do that.
Yeah.
When the geese are over the top, everybody hops up and they shoot.
Yeah.
Dude,
And that's what, I mean, for me, like waterfowl hunting, like, I mean, I love it, but like, I could give two shits to shoot a goose flying over the top.
no,
I want them feet out
I want them dangling, boy.
right there.
I want 'em
20
dangling.
yards.
Mm-hmm.
You
I want
know?
them carrying them suitcases like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that for me, that is the whole challenge. Like that's when you won, when you know the hide's good, everything's good. You waited, you played the weather right. You set up, you know, you set everything right, and like you win.
Yeah.
Like I don't even give a shit to shoot at that point. You know what I mean? Like it's fun, but it's just like you're just watching it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's
Story of
poetry.
my life.
It's
Watch it happen.
poetry.
Yeah.
You
I
say
say
it all
it's
the time.
poetry, dude. Sometimes it is when
Yeah.
they freaking bank that bank.
And nobody gets that. And like, you know, you've been tooting my horn enough. I'll toot you guys a little bit. But
Gang.
no,
right.
but like nobody gets that. Like they're like, oh yeah, like these guys are just hunting these great places or whatever, blah blah. Like the bird footage that you guys get and the hunts that you guys have, like those crazy banger hunts are like once in a season hunts for most guys, kind of deal.
Mhm.
You know, like I mean, I've hunted a lot this year. We've had some awesome hunts, and like you see a pile at the end of the day, like, oh, great hunt. Well, yeah, kind of. The birds weren't really working that great. We kind of shot them off the side, whatever. And like we've had some hunts where like boom, they were in the pocket, and you never really know. And so like, you know, I think it goes back to like you were saying, the fact that you have to scout, you have to understand it, and the more you do that, the more you get better at it. And it just goes back to the point of like, I love seeing different guys how their different setups, different waterfowl setups, different spreads, different approaches, different techniques.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything. That's what intrigues me a lot about waterfowls. I don't think I've seen so many people be successful so many different ways.
Yeah.
Like bow hunting, like it's, I don't know. I feel like it's a little more straightforward. Waterfowl, it's like, oh yeah, like I actually like the trailer setups. Like, oh yeah, how does this trailer set? How do
dude,
you
I
guys
love
do
that.
these? How do you do your decoys? How
I
do you
love
do this?
that. I love that.
You bag them? Do you use seed bags? Do you hang them? Do you
Just throw them all
Right.
in there.
Do you do the
that's
Nate?
That's our approach.
do you do the Nate
Throw the shit
Flynn
in.
Bigfoot pile?
Yeah.
That's what's cool.
Yeah. I like that.
It's
for
been
sure.
fun. It's been a freaking blast.
I'm a systems guy. I'm a
Yeah.
type A, like detail oriented, so I like just love systems.
And it is funny you say that because it's like when we go all over the country and go to these different places, and then we see how they set up things. And like, I'll use Wyoming for example, because Zach always talks about it. He's like, I love it when you guys come into town because that means I get to see geese finish real close, and I don't got to call it until they are really close.
Yeah.
Because he knows that we want as close as you can get it.
And it's got to be on film.
And it's got to be on film, yeah. But I mean, it has its ups and downs with it. We've had, I don't know, the Kansas tall when the duck day. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's burned us
Yeah.
sometimes, but
We were in,
Oh, yeah,
did
you-
you know about this story? So we were in
Maybe.
Tall. We were at Tall, and me, Logan, and Alex go out and we scout and we find this duck feed in the afternoon. Logan said it was the most ducks he'd seen.
this
in
was
Kansas.
first day, wasn't it? This is
And that
when we
homie's
got
seen
there.
some ducks in Kansas, and he said it's the most ducks he had seen in Kansas. Like, go knock a door. We're there with Tornado Alley. We go knock a door. Alex walks up to the door, gets permission on the deal, and the guy's like, "Yep, you guys are good. Freaking pull back in there. You guys can hunt it tomorrow." And we're like, "Jackpot!"
Yeah.
And we were joking, and Alex was like, "I haven't asked permission in a while," and he's like, "But I still got it. It's like riding a bike. Like we can still do it."
Did he pull out the firefighter card?
No, he didn't pull out the fire, but he,
Just his baby face.
yeah. But so we get permission on it. And what we did was we had a goose hunt that was lined up for in the morning. And what our plan was is we're going to shoot geese in the morning, and then in the afternoon we're going to go hunt that duck feed. Well, on the goose hunt in the morning, we had mallards, widgeons, canvasbacks.
What, you're all laying off?
We watched them
Finish.
all morning.
In our face.
All morning we
In our
watched them
face.
finish, and it got to the point where like we're sitting there, me and Q are like filming these ducks that we aren't shooting. And I'm like, I literally said this. I'm like, are we sure that we're going to wait? Because we have
So
them.
did Ronnie.
We have, yeah,
So
and,
did
and
Ronnie.
of course, Ronnie with the ducks.
He was
He's
excited about ducks.
Oh, dude, he's like,
Go figure.
his mind's blowing in the other blind. He's like, why are we not shooting these? Don't shoot any of the ducks. We leave the pond early. As we're packing up, we get to the road. The geese finally start pouring into the pond. So we left that hunt to go to the duck hunt and then get dicked on the duck hunt. And it's just like, dude, we had the ducks. We had them like in our hand. And we were like, oh, no, we know Mother Nature. We'll be good. We'll hit them in the afternoon. And she's like, nuh-uh.
I'd be shooting.
Yeah.
I'd
That's
say.
what.
We learned our lesson.
That's why I told Q, I'm like, hey, if they ain't gonna shoot them, let the camera guys.
You
get
did.
after
You
'em.
popped up and you said, Logan, can I at least shoot my birds?
I'm like, let me shoot that canvas back.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me shoot the canvas backs.
Come on.
I will
now.
take that one back and mount it.
Oh, I would have mounted both of them.
But it was one of the deals where like we didn't think with the weather that was coming in, we didn't know that we were gonna be able to get like our full 4 hunts. So we're like, we're gonna have to get 2 hunts in this
2 hunts
day,
today, yeah.
so we can make the episode. And it pushed us to make that decision. And sometimes it works out, sometimes
Get the 0.
we got the 0. But that's how it is sometimes.
It's all part of the game.
It is part of the game.
Peace Ball, do you have any more questions?
No, I'm good. We knocked out a lot of
Yeah.
questions I had.
I know you took some notes before.
I did,
the pod.
but
Yeah.
no, we covered a lot because I'm really just listening because this stuff's interesting to me because, again, I'm the outside looking in. and
Yeah.
We're going to get him some camo.
I want to get in
We
on it.
are.
Hey,
no more
yeah.
Tims,
Shotgun.
though.
No more
No more
Tims.
Tims.
You
though.
can't be
Shoot.
wearing the Tims.
No more Tims. on
I
my
say
team.
wear the Tims. Don't let them hate on you.
Oh my.
He
God.
was
They hate all
G'ing
they
it up.
want. Yeah.
I was not on that hunt, but I remember watching
Just
the
get him
footage.
some shit,
I
guy.
had a bright blue backpack and everything. No wonder we didn't see any turkey, man.
Yeah.
And I was bitching the whole time, smoking weed in the woods.
I'm like, dude, Parker,
Yeah.
come on over here in your Tims.
Yeah.
Try and hide behind this bush.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I think that's it for the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching.
Appreciate it. It's a
Of
blast.
course,
Yeah.
you always know that we need likes, subscribes, comments. I get so annoyed of saying that. It's the YouTuber thing.
Give it to him. Give him the likes.
But come on now, dude. We got Michael Hunsucker on the podcast. We're excited about it. Thank you for Mike for coming and hanging out with us. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Juice Podcast. We're out.
My bitch a choose it, lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the fuck.